Parallax lenses on Apple TV. It's the Chicago Cubs and the Houston Astros. Cubs have had a couple of 10-game winning streaks this year. It's been a bumpy ride, though. Lately, the Cubs have fallen behind the Brewers, who swept them here at Wrigley earlier this week. Milwaukee back in first in the NL Central. The AL West is wide open. Even Houston, 11 games under 500, only 6.5 back behind right now the first place A's. Alongside Dontrell Willis, I'm Wayne Randazzo, and D-Train, here we are at Wrigley, where the Cubs are trying to get right after what's been a tough week.
Well, first of all, you didn't say anything about my handkerchief, my suit. I know this is your playhouse, this is your backyard, and you always have a little bit extra pep in your step when you come to Wrigleyville, one of the best environments in all of baseball.
Well, you look great. Everybody likes your blue suit. The Cubs and the Astros here this afternoon. We talked about the Cubs having this kind of lack of consistency. They started a bit slow. They were red hot, the 2 10-game winning streaks, and now they've lost 9 of 11.
Well, the runners in scoring position is a glaring problem. Alex Bregman needs to be in the center of that. Only 1 home run over his last 15 ball games, only 4 RBIs. The one thing, the bat-to-ball skills. That's why he's the shiny new toy. I love what he does, line-to-line contact, situational hitting, and an occasional power to the pull side. Also, defensively, he's athletic. He can do everything. It looks like he's been in the Cubs uniform for 10 years now. He does everything they want to. He just needs to play a little better, and they'll get back on track.
Kind of made for this team in this neighborhood. Bregman, a perfect fit for the Cubs at third base, but a long-time Astro, Alex Bregman, getting to face his former team once again today. 9 seasons, a couple of world championships, and an all-around tremendous Houston Astro.
A 3-time All-Star and really a leader and a catalyst, not only in that locker room, but on the field as well.
He was the runner-up for MVP back in 2019, trying to help the Cubs along here in 2026. Well, the Astros need help themselves. They have dealt with a ton of injuries this year, but man, Yordan Alvarez still leading the way for them. He has to with all these guys out, up and down, pitching, hitting. Jose Altuve just got hurt with an oblique injury. Correa's out for the year.
Yordan has to play like Jordan and carry this ball club, and he has done that, getting his foot down, hitting over 315 home runs. He's top 5 in the AL in home runs, slug, RBIs, everything you need. That is one of the prettiest swings, Wayne, in all of baseball. And if you make a mistake, it doesn't matter if it's up or down. He has the ability to barrel it. He can cover the fastball. He can cover the breaking ball. All you need from a bat-to-ball skill guy and really a power hitter and one of the best threats in the American League.
Now, he's a crusher, and he's batting third for the Astros here this afternoon. You see where he ranks in the American League in terms of average, extra base hits, home runs. He does it all from an offensive standpoint, and he has to carry this team right now, as we showed you all the guys that are out for Houston, including Jose Altuve, who just got hurt for the Astros. Well, Cam Smith is trying to come along. The young right fielder, former Cubs draft pick, and he'll be standing by with Heidi Watney in just a moment.
That's so funny.
And the batter is Kyle Tucker.
Right fielder, number 30.
This is a very nice ovation for Kyle Tucker.
Kyle Tucker, welcome home as he gets him at home. Dives and he makes the catch. What a play by Ian. Absolutely gorgeous.
Diner hits one high. He hits one deep. He hits one out. Train number 11 for the first time in his career has just left Union Station.
Second home run in as many nights against the team that drafted him in the first round.
Opposite field home run, Michael Bush. This ball game is tied at 2.
This one heading in the same direction. Back to back. Bush and now Horner. A line drive, 3-run shot off the bat of Kyle Tucker in his return to Houston.
Now swinging a miss. Brommer, 10th all time in franchise history in strikeouts, as a half dozen today.
See you later. Into the Landry's Crawford boxes. Jose Altuve with a 2-run homer.
Ryan Abreu puts out the fire, and the Astros keep the lead.
That is the ball game. The Houston Astros take 2 out of 3 from the Chicago Cubs.
Welcome back to Friday Night Baseball Under the Sun on Apple TV, presented by Verilux Lenses. It's a beautiful afternoon here at Wrigley, and a special series for one Astros player who thought that this was going to be his big league home. Cam Smith grew up a Cubs fan, so when he was drafted by the organization, he was thrilled. But we all know how that story turned out. He was traded to the Astros less than 6 months later in the deal that brought Kyle Tucker to the Cubs. I asked him if he ever thinks about what could have been.
Yeah, I mean, I think about that all the time. I don't even think I'd be in the big leagues yet. I think they might have kept me at third base, and I would have had to kind of make my way up slowly and, up the minor leagues. But, yeah, I got this awesome opportunity with the Astros, and, I'm happy to be here playing them today.
Yeah. I know you have family that grew up as Cubs fans, so when you come here, do you get a little extra amped?
Absolutely, and I've got a ton of family here already. They're here for the weekend, and yeah, we're going to have a good time. All day games, we get to go out to dinner after the games, and it's going to be a good time.
I know you have been working on the mental aspect of the game. What is helping you?
Trust where I can't see the finish line. Trust where I can't see the next step. That's what's helped me the most.
You've got some pretty good guys around you on this team, some veteran players. Who do you lean on?
Everybody. And it was Carlos Correa mainly. He's like a big brother to me, and it was Altuve, and I've leaned more towards Christian Walker recently in most recent weeks. Christian Walker, he's huge for me. He's the guy that keeps me grounded for sure.
Now, Smith may not have still been in the minor leagues had he not been traded, but even Joe Espada said today that a part of his struggles offensively are a result of his learning at the big league level. He had just 32 minor league games before debuting in right field for the Astros on opening day last year, and that's a position that's new to him. But Espada said his process is good. He's hitting the ball hard as ever. He's swinging at strikes. He just needs a couple of those balls to fall in. We'll see if that happens here at Wrigley Field with about 25 family and friends in the stands cheering him on. We're going to take a quick break here from Wrigley. We'll be back with lineups and first pitch after this quick break.
Kerry Wood's 20 strikeout game in the first month of his major league career, May 6th, 1998, right here at Wrigley. A 20 strikeout game for the rookie Kerry Wood against the Astros, and still one of just a handful of 20 strikeout in 9-inning performances in major league history. Alongside a 20-game winner, Dontrell Willis, I'm Wayne Randazzo at Wrigley Field today. The Cubs and Astros used to be in the same division. Now they are interleague rivals as they play each other this afternoon. We'll see Spencer Arrighetti pitching for Houston against Jamison Tyone.
For Arrighetti, for me, he has to be able to show the ability to get to that nasty breaking ball. One of the best in all of baseball, 50% whiff rate on that breaking ball. That is third in all of baseball. Also, no extra base hits, so the ability to command that fastball with late life and movement, set it up early in the counter, that nasty whooper duper. It almost seems like it has a yard of movement. He can throw it in the strike zone to land. Also get the chase out of the strike zone as well. And so if he's able to have that type of command and mound presence and get to that pitch, it'd be big for him to start today, because this is a very talented Cubs lineup he's going up against.
Opponents are 3 for 40 with 22 strikeouts on that curveball for Arrighetti. Took a no-hitter into the 8th inning in his last start against the Texas Rangers, and he'll be up against Tyone here today, who's had his struggles this year. 16 home runs allowed by Tyone, 5 in his last start against the White Sox.
Keep the baseball in the park for Tyone. That's the veteran. The right-hander has a straight fastball anywhere from 93 to 96. I'm going to be watching for that velo. Also the changeup, but he also has a nasty breaking ball too. Hitters are just hitting 119 off that pitch. He has to throw that breaking ball, pitch backwards, and really get these hitters off that fastball. But as you can see, the command is up in the zone. It cannot stay middle, or up in the zone. It's going to be lights out if he doesn't. But if he throws that fastball down and is able to change eye level, I think he's going to be able to navigate that lineup. But the Cubs starters, they need to start going deeper in ball games to take pressure off that bullpen as well.
It was a career high 5 homers allowed by Tyone in one game. Murakami got him twice. That crosstown rivalry kicked up a notch.
I told you, I think you owe me dinner behind that, but we ain't going to talk about that.
That cast powered by Google Cloud as we show you Tyone's 16 fastballs, or 16 home runs allowed, I should say. 11 of them have come on the fastball.
And that's the matchup I'm going to watch, especially going up against Jordan Alvarez, one of the game's best hitters.
Now the Cubs and the Astros getting ready to open a 3-game series. Cubs trying to snap a 5-game losing streak. The Astros just trying to get it together. They've been slowed by injuries, as we talked about, but they still feel like they're alive in the American League West. So should be a good one. The sun's out here at Wrigley Field, and 120 is on approach here inside of Wrigley. Cubs and Astros, a daytime edition of Friday Night Baseball is coming up in just a moment.
The bases are loaded, and it will be Dwight Smith. The infield in, the outfield in. Cubs win! Cubs win! Cubs win! After being behind 9-0, Cubs win!
Boys of Zimmer in 1989 down 9-0 in a game against the Astros, came back and won 10-9. You heard Harry Carey, whose statue is out in front of the bleachers here at Wrigley on WGN back then, as today's aerial coverage brought to you by Goodyear, the drone over this beautiful cathedral, Wrigley Field. I remember being 5 years old and my Uncle Leroy wearing me out. The Cubs were down 9-0, but they won 10-9 that day at Wrigley Field.
The memories in this ballpark, it's one of the best ballparks in the country. Some say the world. The energy is unmatched. Been talking to fans all day long. Somebody called me out and said, I know you picked the Brew Crew D-Train, but we are coming. So it's been a fun day thus far.
Now, it is a beautiful day here. The sun has come out. We thought it might rain today. Earlier in the week, they were calling for some rain, but it's a sunny day at Wrigley on Friday afternoon as the Cubs and the Astros open up this 3-game series over Memorial Day weekend. Cubs in their electric blues here this afternoon, as they usually wear for Friday home games. Craig Counsell trying to get the Cubs back in the right direction. Certainly they've played well at Wrigley for the most part this year. Had a 15-game home winning streak snapped this week.
Well, you said in the manager meeting, Wayne, we need to pitch better. We need to have contact to damage better. Just all around play better. And so that's ebb and flows of baseball. Sometimes you're streaky, sometimes you're not, but somebody needs to step up right now to be able to keep pace in the NL Central.
And Joe Espada trying to keep the faith for the Astros. They missed the playoffs narrowly last year. They've had this incredible run, 8 straight postseason appearances until last season, knocked out in the final weekend, and now they're trying to come back up after this incredibly slow start for them.
Well, I love what Joe said about this team. You don't have to be Jose Altuve. You don't have to be Yordan Alvarez. Just be yourself and play your game. And so he seems to be a hands-on manager that has fun and putting guys in the right direction.
Now the Cubs are taking the field here at Wrigley on just a picture-perfect afternoon. It's a little cool here today as the wind blows in off the lake, but it is a sunny afternoon. That's all we can ask for here in the Windy City, as Jamison Tyone is on the mound, and he's glad the wind is blowing in off the lake after all the home runs he's allowed so far this year.
Well, you know what? Strike one is critical for him, being able to throw that fastball down in the zone. Get some contact and let that super athletic defense behind you play.
Pitcher scouting report presented by CarShield, and we will have our StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud as Tyone relies on a whole mix of pitches.
The forcing fastball up in the zone, but the cutter to me is one of his best pitches. He can throw that to the right hand and the left hand batter, but the changeup has to be down in a way. He has to trust that, especially when he gets behind in the count.
Now the CarShield scouting report for Tyone. What do you say, live low, live long?
Absolutely, stay down and really trust your stuff to be able to pitch to contact. And like I said earlier, there's gold gloves, there's gold sprinkled all over this infield and outfield. Trust your defense, and really so you can be pitch efficient and go deep into the ball game.
Well, both of these starters today went to high school in the Houston area. Tyone out of the Woodlands High School. He was drafted number 2 overall out of the Woodlands by the Pittsburgh Pirates. He was one of the best high school pitching prospects in years. Back to Josh Beckett, who was drafted in 1999. Jamison Tyone drafted in 2010. That's how highly regarded he was coming out of the Woodlands down around Houston. Here is the Houston lineup with Isaac Paredes, who was with the Cubs briefly a couple of years ago, playing third base, batting in front of Yordan Alvarez, who has been incredibly good again. The Astros starting lineup presented by BetMGM. Christian Walker and Paredes kind of sandwiched around Alvarez, give him some veteran support near the top of the lineup, as we'll get to Alvarez in a moment. But first, Jeremy Pena, fresh off the injured list, starts it off here this afternoon. good year for Pena last year. It made his first All-Star team. Had a lot of accolades for a guy who never made an All-Star game, with his incredible rookie season back in 2022, which culminated with him as a Gold Glove winner as a rookie shortstop and the World Series MVP. First pitch of the day is a swing and a miss. We are underway at beautiful Wrigley Field.
See that fastball at the top of the zone, really enticing to the opposing team's hitters.
As Pat Hughes often says, beautiful and historic Wrigley Field, and it's 0-1 on Pena, who whiffs on that off-speed pitch. The sweeper from Taillon, he was way out in front.
If I'm Taillon, I don't want to live there with that type of pitch, especially with the wind blowing out to the left. Needs to elevate that baseball that high.
No balls, 2 strikes. Pena had an oblique injury. These Astros have been snake bit so much by injuries. As Pena lays off there, and a lot of oblique problems for this Astros ball club as well. Jose Altuve has an oblique problem. So does Yainer Diaz.
And Mr. Obliqueman.
It was a hamstring issue for Pena. It was Jake Myers who just came back from an oblique injury. So they have different kinds of injuries up and down their lineup through their rotation, their bullpen, but the obliques have been an issue as well. 2-2 as Pena takes outside for ball 3.
Well, they feel very optimistic that a lot of these key guys are going to be able to return. They just have to stay afloat within the AL West,
which isn't too hard to do right now. 3-2 as Pena hits it hard to the left side and through. That's a base hit. So the Astros leadoff man is on to start the game. Taillon had him 0-2, but couldn't put him away.
Threw a couple non-competitive breaking balls to allow Pena back into the count. This one backs up middle. Pena doing an excellent job to stay short through the baseball, getting the offense going.
Brings up Isaac Paredes, who the Cubs sent to the Astros as part of that Kyle Tucker trade going into last year. As Paredes takes ball 1. Wasn't a great fit for the Cubs to have Paredes, who hits a lot of balls into the left field corner. This is the deepest left field corner in all of baseball. Meanwhile, in Houston at Daikin Park, a much better fit for Paredes to just loft balls into the Crawford boxes.
Crawford boxes are made for him, especially Paredes. All 97 of his career home runs have been on the pull side.
And he's hit 25 home runs since that trade, playing in 147 games as an Astro. 1 ball, 1 strike on Paredes, playing third today as Taillon misses with ball 2. Just the pulled air ball from Paredes, and he likes to hit it out in front. Just kind of swoops it into the left field corner. That's an out at Wrigley. It's a home run a lot of the time in Houston. 3 balls and 1 strike to count on Paredes.
Taillon having a tough time commanding the fastball and the breaking ball, getting himself in hitter-friendly counts early in the ball game. It's always key to get your heart rate down and your mechanics under.
It's Yordan Alvarez on deck as Paredes socks one left center field. Crow Armstrong back near the ivy, makes the catch right in front of the wall out there as PCA gets it in. Pena returns to first, and there's the difference right there with the wind blowing straight in. It held up that ball off the bat of Paredes.
Paredes had a count, like you said, trying to get that bat head off early. First 100 feet, you think that ball has a chance, and then all of a sudden, elements of Chicago come into play.
Pete Crow Armstrong, who's made a couple of errors this week, able to settle to that one right near the 368 sign in left center as Yordan Alvarez looks at strike 1.
That young man can go get that baseball with the best of them.
I believe he's the best defensive player in the sport, regardless of position. 13 defensive runs saved already this year for PCA. Ball. 0-1 to Yordan Alvarez, although a challengeable pitch there for Carson Kelly, who's the best in baseball at overturning those calls. He is 22 out of 26 in ABS challenges this year. 1 ball, 1 strike on Alvarez. 15 homers this year, although he's only hit 3 in the month of May.
I thought that changeup before was perfect for Taillon. That's where you need to execute that, not only for the left-handed batter, but the right hand as well.
That's a strike around the knees of Alvarez. Big target there Yordan Alvarez, about 6'4", just a powerful hitter. When he's healthy, only played 48 games last year, but he's healthy now, and you can see he is right where he belongs in terms of slugging over 600 to start the year. Mickey Moniak on that list, former #1 overall pick. 2-2. Alvarez stays alive, pokes one foul.
It's your home, Wayne.
This is what the drone cam was made for, to get shots at this place on this kind of day.
Looks like a screensaver. Nothing better.
2-2 the count on Alvarez. Swing and a miss, strike three. Taillon powers a 94-mile-an-hour fastball by the Astros slugger. 2 outs and the first strikeout for Taillon.
Excellent fastball, but it was set up by the 2 changeups. But you're going to see the wind, especially in Wrigley Field. Every time I pitch in Wrigley, I always looked at where the flag, the direction of that. And so, wind prevented home runs 10, win at it 7.
Yeah, the wind giveth and the wind taketh away. That's kind of how it's always been here at Wrigley Field. Although they have found in the last few years that the wind has blown in more often than it used to. Doesn't blow out quite as much. Well, the Cubs, a team that relies on the long ball, certainly prefer it to be blowing out. Although maybe not today with Jameson Taillon on the mound, as Christian Walker bats with 2 outs and takes ball 1.
Also, it's a brisk day today, Wheezy. It's not warm. Hitters aren't friendly in that. Especially you coming down to H-Town where the ball flies in Dyken Park.
I know you need 70 plus to feel comfortable.
I'm Scottsdale soft. Everybody knows if you're a Cubs fan and you've been in spring training, Arizona, different type of climate, obviously.
60 degrees at first pitch here today at Wrigley. It's just a bit under where you'd like it.
Well, listen, I played in Naperville, though. I played for the Kane County. That's
Cougar.
right. First time I ever saw snow. First time.
It's very cold out in Kane County in the late winter, early spring. 1-1. Walker swings through a high fastball. 93 from Taillon, who also pushed a fastball by Alvarez in the last at bat.
Taillon's starting to feel comfortable with that fastball, cutting it loose. He's made some mechanical changes to try to add some velocity, and so far you're seeing it at the top of the zone.
It's 1 ball, 2 strikes on Walker, who's swung the bat well for the Astros so far this year. Taillon's had 5 swings and misses here in the opening inning. And now 6 to punch out Walker and end the first. Horner leads it off. Alex Bregman, the former Astro, faced them with the Red Sox last year at 6 hits, including a couple of home runs, as he bats 3rd. Happ, Suzuki, Michael Conforto's been red hot. PCA bats 8th for the Cubs. Tough customer out there, though. Spencer Arrighetti has been outstanding to begin the year, as he works to Nico Horner, leading off the bottom of the 1st, and it's a first pitch strike. Arrighetti took a no-hitter into the 8th inning in his last start. He has a 1.50 ERA in his first 6 outings. He's won 5 of them.
Arrighetti with the arm angle, really the movement, not only with that breaking ball that we touched on, but really the 2-seam action. As long as he's able to command the strike zone with his fastball, tough matchup.
Well, if you're a Cubs fan and looking for some hope against Arrighetti today, it comes within the Cubs' speed. As Horner takes ball 1, because Arrighetti will get wild. Even though he's been hard to hit, he'll walk batters, and he gives up a lot of stolen bases. That plays right into the Cubs' game.
13.8 walk rate this season. That's the 5th highest in MLB.
The Cubs walk a lot, and they steal a lot. 1 ball, 1 strike on Horner. It's all twisted up there, and it's 1-2.
See what I mean with the late life and movement? He's the type of pitcher that you want to sit thirds on. Allow him to cover the whole plate, and then when he gets ahead, start to wipe them out with the breaking ball.
The whooper duper, as you call him. That's his bread and butter, no question. 1-2. And there it is. Man, that's a good pitch.
Tough, especially with that arm angle. He throws that breaking ball very hard, and so it's tough for the hitter to be able to cover that baseball. And like you said, that breaking ball is his bread and butter. Now you're seeing it. The curveball, the 4-seamer, the sweeper. He throws a curveball more than he throws a 4-seamer. So he trusts himself not only to get the swing and miss out the zone, but able to fight back into the count, landing that breaking ball.
Statcast 3D powered by Google Cloud. That's the 23rd strikeout on the curve for Arrighetti this year. Here's Michael Busch hooking one foul to the right. And it's 0-1. Only 18 times Horner has punched out this season in nearly 200 at bats already. You just don't see Nico Horner take a swing like that.
This young man right here, Michael Bush, so proud and happy for him. Got a chance to meet him in the Dodger organization. He's really flourished in the Cubs.
Hits it hard, but it's caught by Pena. Hit it to the wrong guy. Certainly a Gold Glove winner at short. As Bush lines out 2 away here in the first. Well, the Car Shield scouting report for Arrighetti. He has taken a spot in this Astros rotation with Hunter Brown out as their best pitcher. Brown should be back fairly soon for Houston, but Arrighetti will live and die with that curveball.
Yeah, they've had a ton of injuries in that rotation, so he's really emerged as that front line ace, and more curveballs as you can see.
Injuries all over as Alex Bregman stares out at the orange and looks at strike one. Bregman in the powder blue today, the electric blue of the Cubs in their Friday uniform, but a longtime Astro, a pure winner in Houston, 2-time world champion and an MVP runner-up back in 2019. Maybe his best years will always be remembered in an Astros uniform, but the Cubs are still hoping that he can give them 5 really good years as he signed a 5-year contract worth $175 million in the offseason. It's a nice glittery Astro jacket. Yes. Bregman went too far, and it's 1-2. You can see the Astros fans from several miles away with all that bright orange that they wear.
They're going to let you know about it, too. They don't mess around down there in H-Town. Got an uncle that lives in Spring, Texas, so I'm down there a lot. They're very passionate about that. There it is.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Alex Bregman, the former Astro. And he loops one to left center field. That gets beyond Pena and falls for a base hit. 2-out single. The Cubs' first hit. Bregman just stuck his bat out and found a good spot beyond Pena's reach.
What line drive in the book. Talked about the bat-to-ball skills. Arrighetti doubling up with that breaking ball, and Bregman is elongating that swing just enough. Oh my goodness, he caught it out right there where the cup is and says, hey, let's get going.
Brings up Ian Happ, who has been striking out a lot. Happ is 0 for his last 21. He was punched out 13 times in that span. He's really become a 3 true outcome type player. Wasn't really always Happ's game in that regard, at least in terms of the power being what it is. But 10 homers, 36 walks, and 71 strikeouts for Ian Happ already this year. The 2 batters have struck out more as Bregman thought about taking off. We mentioned that the Cubs steal a lot of bases, not necessarily Bregman, but as a group.
Arrighetti did a good job of doing a slide step, and Bregman caught it in the corner of his eye and decided to hit the brakes because he didn't really get a good jump.
1 ball, 1 strike on Happ. Little bloop down the left field side. That is a fair ball. Bounced just inside the chalk. Bregman goes to third. The throw to third too late, and Happ trails to second. It's a bloop double on a ball that Happ thought was going to land foul.
Excellent base running by Bregman and Happ. Happ has the plate in front of him. A little bit of a jam shot right below the lip. All of a sudden, a 60-degree wedge right on the line, and now the Cub offense is cooking, and this is where the position, runners in scoring position, can they cash in early in the ball game?
Happ didn't really take off until that ball landed, but he gets to second anyway, and now here's Suzuki.
Alex Bregman giving a good little feel. Once that ball is down, hitting another gear, and because of that, the defense was focused on him and allowing Happ to get to second.
A couple of soft contact hits for the Cubs here in the first. Now Suzuki looks at a strike on the breaking ball from Arrighetti. This is where the Cubs are looking for an uptick. They have struggled with runners in scoring position during this latest cold stretch. Suzuki especially has had a tough time driving in runs. He grounds this one softly to third, gobbled up by Paredes, and the throw across ends the inning. Cubs get 2 hits, but they leave 2, and they don't score in the first. Verilux XR series, and find your local Essilor expert today at Essilor.com. We can't change the name of the program just for one day at Wrigley, but we're glad to be here You know, the city ordinance and all that.
Stop it.
Here's a line drive to the left side past Bregman and a base hit for Jake Myers, who runs well, leading off here in the top of the second. Astros have had leadoff hits now in each of the first 2 innings.
Myers elite at hunting the fastball, also an elite defender as well, but he never comes off that fastball. Taillon serves one up and just under the outstretched glove of Alex Bregman.
Strike to Braden Shoemake, who is playing second base in the absence of Altuve, and he's hit the ball well, batting .291. Guy who's bounced around throughout his pro career, trying to show what he can do at the major league level. And he pops this one up to left center field, shallow for Ian Happ. And Happ has that 4-time Gold Glove winner in left field. Happ retires Shoemake, 1 out here in the second.
Talked about the Cubs defense. They're one of the best defensive ball clubs in all of baseball, and so if you're able to show the ability to keep that baseball in the ballpark, whether it's in the infield, definitely in the outfield, they're going to make a play on it.
Here's Cam Smith, who of course was drafted by the Cubs just a couple of years ago and was included in that trade when the Cubs got Kyle Tucker from Houston. Hayden Wesneski was in that deal. He's on the shelf like many Astros are. Smith, if you look at the numbers, batting just .206, a .618 OPS, you'd think he's not doing very well in his second season in the major leagues. Well, you'd be right in terms of outcomes as Kelly throws down to first, but if you look at some of his peripherals, he barrels the ball a lot, he hits the ball hard a lot, he's just not getting any results.
Well, as a youngster in your young career, that's his position, so he understands that, and you have to have the mental fortitude to continue to work and not change your routine, and so he knows he's going to get more results by continuing to work hard, stay focused, and that's how you really emerge as a big league power. So he's got the size, he's got the speed, the defense never falters out there, so mentally that shows me that he's tough out there and he's not taking the at-bats out there defensively.
This is his first time playing at Wrigley Field. 2 balls and no strikes. And Smith takes ball 3. Had a couple of homers against the Cubs last year when the Cubs visited Houston. And he had a pretty good first half in his rookie year. Went in the tank though in the second half. He only hit .188 from July 1st through the end of the season. Barely batting above .200 so far this year. As he looks to strike over the outside edge. It's 3-1 on Smith with Myers at first.
Excellent fastball right on the edge. For Smith right now, he's looking to try to drive this fastball.
3 balls, 1 strike, and Taillon with a check on Myers. Mentioned Myers with good speed. Just coming back from an oblique injury of his own. 1 stolen base so far this year. Only the 15th game played for Myers this season. 3-1 the count on Smith. Fouls one off out of play. This was the deal for Kyle Tucker. The Cubs kind of went for it going into the 2025 season, and Tucker did a lot for them early last year. Here's another guy that didn't have a great second half. Tucker still found his money though in Dodger blue.
Yes, he did, but he played with injuries too, so I think he understood Kyle Tucker. What was at stake for him, even though the numbers faltered because he was a little bit banged up.
$60 million a year. There goes the runner, and there's a fly ball to right center. Hit well. PCA's after it. Out near the ivy again, and he makes the catch right in front of the wall. Another ball that might have been gone had the wind not pushed it back in as Smith flies out to deep right center field. More tough luck for Smith as Myers goes back to first.
Yeah, that definitely sounded like he had a chance, and the way his eyes looked up and saw PCA, says, man, that's the wrong guy I need to hit it to.
And on the wrong day. 106 off the bat. That's just another example of Cam Smith striking the baseball with no results. And here's Zach Cole playing in left field for the Astros. Joey Loperfido is out among the many Astros injuries. 6.5 back. They think they're still in it in the American League West once they get their guys back. And just about everybody but Correa is expected to come back at some point this year.
Well, Hunter Brown is just so important in that rotation, especially the growth that he's had over the last year and a half. Got to have some consistency in that rotation. Starts and ends on the mound.
Ball 3 to Cole with the number 9 batter, the catcher Vasquez on deck. In the first inning, the Astros had a leadoff hit, and Pena never moved off first. So far, that's been the case here in the second with Myers as well.
Taillon has shown an ability to be able to settle in and really work his way back in the counts.
Three and 2 now, and Myers will get a head start.
Myers a little tardy on that fastball, even though he's ahead in the count.
Three and 2. Now swing and a miss, strike 3. Jamison Taillon has had 3 strikeouts with a man on base here in the first couple of innings. No score at Wrigley.
Better pitching at Dyken Park than he has been on the road. He's got an ERA 2 points higher on the road. We'll see if these Cubbies make him feel at home here in the friendly confines, Wayne.
And he went to Cinco Ranch High School in Katy, Texas. And he grew up in Albuquerque initially. Michael Conforto leads off the second inning. Generally, it's not a very easy ballpark to hit in down at Dyken Park. There are a lot of complaints over the years about the batter's eye, and they've tried to fix that over the last couple of seasons. No complaints from Michael Conforto this year. He has crushed the ball. Former first-round pick, had some good years as a New York Met. Last year with the Dodgers, just a really rough season, but he has resurrected himself here in Chicago.
They've done a good job of just platooning him in some really favorable matchups, and he's rejuvenated as a veteran left-handed bat.
1 ball, 1 strike. He's the DH today. I don't know what it is about this place, but you just feel like some guys belong in a Cubs uniform. I always thought that about Michael Conforto, that he would end up a Cub at some point. Just always felt like he was the type of player that fits here. And Bregman, we talked about that too with him.
Guys that play hard, don't buckle under the Chicago pressure, the expectation, have that same tone every single day, and so you know that you trust that the numbers are going to be there in the end.
1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Breaking ball just missed. And it's 2 and 2 on Conforto. It's good to see Conforto putting it back together. A guy who was a top prospect coming up in the Mets system, drafted the same year as Kyle Schwarber was drafted by the Cubs. They were both first-round picks. Both came up around the same time. 2 balls, 2 strikes. As Conforto whiffs on the curve, another strikeout on that pitch for Spencer Arrighetti, his second today. Well, the weather report is presented by Ricola. And go ahead, you're the weatherman.
Ricola. It's cold. Listen, it says 59. Feels like 49 in this booth, Weezy. We gonna make it through, man. It's just a beautiful Chicago day.
Well, it's not quite the way Tom Skilling did it all those years on Channel 9, but it's good enough.
They ain't gonna stop you and your brother in the barbecue today, that's for sure. The sun is out. You guys are barbecuing, baby.
Carson Kelly swings and misses.
Ooh, looks itchy.
That's in a full bear outfit.
I need that. That's cool. I need that.
Some of the Bears are here today. All the Bears rookies were out for first pitch. You sure? Their first-round pick, the safety Thieneman that they drafted out of Oregon, threw out the first pitch today.
That's your team, huh, Wayne? Rebuilding since '85.
That's right. They got close last year.
They did. They're never heard from you so much in the offseason. You were fired up. They're in the right direction, though. They're fun to watch.
Well, if Mendoza does the same for the Raiders, what Caleb Williams has done for the Bears, you're going to feel the same way.
Absolutely. Scramble. Run for your life.
No balls, 2 strikes on Kelly. And down. Misses for ball 1.
Arrighetti continues to land that breaking ball just below the strike zone. It's really enticing. It's going to force these Cub hitters to have to honor that pitch.
pushes one foul. Still 1-2. Kelly hit for a lot of power early last year. Hit 8 home runs in the first month of the season. This year he's hit for a high average. Adding close to 300 is Kelly. Hitting 314 dating back to April 3rd. That's #1 among major league catchers. 1 ball, 2 strikes on the veteran Kelly, who fouls off another.
128 OPS plus so far, and so Kelly just looks very poised. Obviously has pull side power, but each time I see him, he gives a quality at bat.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Arrighetti again with the breaking ball. Gets a punch out. That time the sweeper, not necessarily the curve, but same result.
The ability to shape it how he wants to. And Kelly saw a true breaking ball early in the count and more of a east to west sweeping type. And hitters have a difficult time picking up the spin and really recognizing that that's a fastball to honor or a breaking ball off the plate.
2 out, nobody on. Here's Pete Crow Armstrong. This guy's kind of a firecracker, isn't he?
I like him. I like him. He plays hard, wears his emotions on his sleeve, and you gotta know where you stand with him.
Third baseman Paredes is in close in case he bunts. No balls and a strike. And it's upstairs. Craig Counsell was a little bit, I don't know, mind blown, I guess, when he said that there were a couple articles written in The Athletic just this week, just today even, about Crow Armstrong. Crow Armstrong brings a lot of attention to himself, and you're going to get the positive waves of that, and then you're going to get the negative waves of it too when things aren't going well.
Well, you know, I respect what Craig said. It's like, do you talk to him to tone that down? He says absolutely not. You know, that's what got him to the big leagues. That's his style of play, and he has the ability when he's locked in and going well to carry a team by himself. You see him running around the bases, raising the roof. You see the outfield antics. You see him being able to show that ability of being that type of impactful player, and so you don't mess with a guy like that.
30-30 last year, joined Sammy Sosa as the only Cubs to ever do that. 3 balls and 1 strike on Crow Armstrong. It was an electricity to Sammy's game too, and a couple of 30 years before he became that 60 home run guy.
I was talking to you about that earlier, about that home run that Sammy hit off that camera well in the playoffs. I said, man, I had to go all the way up there. It took me a minute. The Cubs fans love it.
3-2 on Crow Armstrong. That's ball 4. So now the stolen base becomes part of the game here, with Arrighetti giving up 8 steals in his 6 starts, and Crow Armstrong at first with 2 outs. And it was nothing like those years when Sammy was absolutely mashing the ball out of this place.
He was fun to watch. The power, the joy, hitting those baseballs all the way onto the street. Captain and really just the pulse of Chicago baseball.
Crow Armstrong with a pretty big lead already. The first pitch a strike to Swanson. Sammy would hit him on Waveland, on Sheffield, down Kenmore, beyond Waveland. No buildings were safe across the street either. PCA with a big lead at first, held by Walker.
Have a base stealer like that. Juan Pierre is one of my best friends. He talked about varying your looks, varying your holes, having that ability, because if they're able to really time up when you're going to go to home plate, they're going to steal the base off you instead of the catcher.
He has 12 steals already this year. And Arrighetti throws over and throws away. Down the right field side, Crow Armstrong takes off. He's headed toward third, and he'll make it easily. First to third in a flash after the throwing error by Arrighetti.
It also causes that, Wayne. Arrighetti trying to be a little quicker to first base and overcooks that throw, and all of a sudden PCA off to the races.
Turns a walk into a triple, and now he's at third with 2 outs. Arrighetti has not thrown a wild pitch this year. He does throw that breaking ball a lot. 4 balls and a strike on Swanson. There is that breaking ball landing for a strike. It's 0-2.
Second time through the lineup, the Cubs hitters are going to have to try to make that adjustment and say, hey, I know I'm going to see one, maybe two breaking balls in the bat. I'm going to try to look for that and hit it to the right side.
The ball's 2 strikes to count on Swanson. He grounds it foul. That was the first error in Arrighetti's career, and only the 18th error committed by the Astros this year. They entered today with the fewest errors made in the American League.
Even with all the injuries, they still show the ability to be able to play clean baseball. Very important.
PCA with his thrilling speed forces the issue. And he's at third with 2 outs. Arrighetti trying to work around it. Swanson pops it up. Walker is coming in toward home plate, and he's got it to end the inning. Cubs have left a man on third in each of the first 2 innings. Still no score.
How you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. That's 2. Wow, that's crazy.
Talking about the wind.
Yeah.
As Cam Smith's fly ball died on the warning track. Big Crow Armstrong caught that one and caught another earlier from Isaac Paredes as well. The wind blowing in quite as sharply right now as we saw in the first couple of innings. Christian Vasquez leads off here in the 3rd against Tayo. Cannot hold his swing on that sweeper from the veteran Jamison Tayo.
Jake Myers on that ball that Smith hit got all the way to second base, thinking that had a chance to at least play off the wall, but PCA made it look like a can of corn. So you're seeing already the wind elements taking shape.
That's affected the Astros a couple of times here in the first 2 innings. As Vasquez chops one foul behind home plate. More playing time for Vasquez with Yainer Diaz on the shelf for the Astros. One of those oblique injuries we talked about for Houston. And the big one is Altuve. It's just happened over the last week. And Altuve will be out for a bit.
Yeah, those obliques are tricky.
For an older player too. 0-2 as Vasquez takes upstairs. 15 years in the league now for Altuve.
Especially for an older player that likes to swing the bat. Hasn't seen a pitch he doesn't think he can drive, and so very important for the core strength to be healed up for him to come back.
1 ball 2 strikes. Vasquez lifts one to left center field. This is hit well. He and Happ is back out near the ivy, and that's gone. Vasquez able to slug it through the wind, and the Astros take a 1-0 lead.
Right where Vasquez hit that first base, he turned to his dugout and says, I've been lifting weights, getting big and strong. Got his foot down.
And the Wrigley tradition of throwing the ball back onto the field from the bleachers holds true as Vasquez hits his 4th home run this season. Now the 17th allowed by Taillon, the most in the major leagues. Up and into Pena. Going back to 2021, Taillon's allowed the 2nd most homers in all of baseball. Only Patrick Corbin has allowed more. But Taillon's #1 this year.
And you might win this one.
Well, he didn't challenge it. He just stepped out.
Oh, I thought he touched the top of the helmet.
He did there, but that's too late.
Way too late.
1 ball 1 strike on Jeremy Pena. Base hit his first time. The leadoff batters had a hit in each of the first 3 innings against Taillon. It's the homer by Vasquez to start this inning.
See, that slider right there is not sharp enough for me, especially when it's elevated like that. It needs to have more east to west movement if he's going to throw it out there and really shape it more of a sweeper. So not only with the fastball command, now the off speed, if you leave it up, easy to elevate that baseball.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Pena chased there, and Taillon has his 4th strikeout, 1 away.
That's the sweeper I want. Be able to throw that fastball down into the zone, get that swing and miss.
Here's Vasquez through the teeth of the wind on a hanger from Taillon.
Yeah, that's the same breaking ball. Anything that's belt high with that breaking ball, if you don't have the sharpness or the life, getting those curls in.
Like that's something you would do.
1,000%. That's why I caught it. I hit my golf ball far. That's exactly what I do. Got to eat your spinach.
Saw Paredes at the plate here as he looks at a strike. Well, Paredes could have had a home run had the wind helped him out in the first inning as he lofted a fly ball out to left center that Crow Armstrong grabbed in front of the wall. Taillon falls behind him here. 3 balls and 1 strike. Taillon allowed 5 homers in his last start against the White Sox. Today, 2 balls that were knocked down by the wind on the warning track and 1 that made its way out off the bat of Vasquez. So if you're looking for Taillon to keep the ball in the ballpark, not all that encouraging how it's gone so far this afternoon, even with just the 1 run allowed. It's a foul at home plate, still 2-2.
See, when he does get the swing and miss though down in the zone, I wonder if he sees that out the hand, because even the called strikes as he's getting it are belt high, and so tough to live up there if you don't have high velocity. You look at Taillon, anywhere from 92 to 94 miles an hour. The shape of the slider is not sharp, so you have to live down.
It's bouncing ball to third base. Bregman waits for it, fires it across, and gets Paredes by a step. This was the ball that Paredes hit back in the first inning. PCA able to handle it right in front of the ivy. We'll see how the wind pushed that back just enough. That ball might have hit the top of the ivy out there or gone out altogether. The Cubs played much better on days where the wind has helped the offense as opposed to days where the wind blows in. There's Alvarez with a fly ball to left. Ian Happ comes in. Taillon is out of the inning, but the Astros have the lead. Christian Vasquez slugs one out, and the Astros take a 1-0 lead thanks to the muscles of Vasquez. Show the guns.
Welcome back to Friday Night Baseball Under the Sun on Apple TV, presented by Verilux Lenses. Pete Crow Armstrong said after Wednesday's game, where he made that defensive error that cost the team 3 runs, he thinks his struggles have affected him mentally and bled over to his defense, which is typically tops in the league. He's got 13 defensive runs saved, leaves all of baseball. Craig Counsell said they need PCA to have that passion and fire he has. It's what makes him such a great player. It's going to lead to mistakes, but he'll take that because he has an infectious energy that can help carry a team, Wayne.
He certainly does. Here's Nico Horner leading off in the bottom of the 3rd. We talked about Crow Armstrong's defense. I mean, just with that alone, he proves his value. We saw him draw a walk with 2 outs in the 2nd inning and make it all the way to 3rd as he was in the head of Arrighetti. But he was left at 3rd, and the Cubs have left 3 men in scoring position already in the first 2 innings today. Something that has really hampered them as they've lost 9 of their last 11. Dropped a series to the White Sox last weekend, swept by the Brewers here at Wrigley earlier this week. 3-0 the count on Horner. That's a strike, although after the off day yesterday, back to a full house here, kicking off Memorial Day weekend today. Horner thought that was ball 4. He's challenging this. Cubs challenge powered by T-Mobile, and Horner's right. It is ball 4.
Excellent call by Nico. Talked about the bat-to-ball skills. What helps with that is strike zone awareness. And Nico's one of the best in baseball. Gets the Cubs a lineup going.
Well, another guy with stolen base in his game. Horner so far this season has 9 in 10 tries. As Michael Busch stands in with Horner at first. Horner with an enormous lead. Trying to time Arrighetti as Busch had a good cut.
Nice pass by Michael Busch, hunting that fastball, and that's not easy when the pitcher varies his time, varies his looks to the home plate.
Horner stole 29 last year. 4 straight years he's stolen at least 20. First Cub to do that since the Hall of Famer Ryne Sandberg. One ball, one strike on Bush. Bush has been driving in runs lately. We'll see if Horner can get himself in a scoring position. 84% stolen base rate in his career. Pretty good.
.34 home runs, 90 RBIs last year for Michael Bush, and that was kind of his coming out party and this showing the power and being able to show the ability to drive the baseball consistently.
One ball, one strike on Bush. There goes Horner. Throw down to second by Vasquez. Not even close. Nico Horner has his 10th stolen base, and for Arrighetti, it's the 9th he's given up already in 7 starts this year.
Well, Nico just timed that perfectly. Almost a walking lead. Takes a big first jump. Gets his momentum going to second. Nobody in baseball is going to throw out that jump.
I mentioned from a Cubs standpoint, Arrighetti, that's one way you could beat him. Draw walks and steal bases. And the Cubs are doing that here in the last couple of innings. Now they'll try to get on the board as Bush fouls one behind home plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. You mentioned the 34 homers for Bush. Only 2 Cubs first basemen ever hit more in a season. Ernie Banks, the Hall of Famer, and Derek Lee, your guy.
Yeah, well, D. Lee came over here in a Cup uniform. Man, you want to talk about barreling baseballs. He hit a home run off me and then took me to dinner. Made sure he paid for that, by the way. But that's how impactful Michael Bush has been thus far. And now he's had a chance to really hit the baseball with authority to the right side.
Lays off that, and it's 3-2. Some of the numbers there for the Cubs in the last 2 weeks. They have just not hit with runners in scoring position. You see Bush's ranks between Lee and Ernie Banks as far as homers. Man, 2005, Derek Lee was unstoppable.
Thought he was going to hit 400 like he was in the College World Series.
3-2. And Bush got hit by the pitch. So Arrighetti with a walk and a hit batsman. The Cubs have the table set yet again.
Yeah, just overcooked that breaking ball and caught top of that thigh. And now there's a meeting at the mound just to slow Arrighetti down and say, hey, let's just focus. Let's try to get a ground ball. You've been doing a good job. Cubs have an amazing ability to really speed the game up and put up crooked numbers by running the bases well and up until the last week or so, timely base hits.
Josh Miller is the pitching coach for the Astros as he goes out to cool Arrighetti down here after he walked Horner and allowed a stolen base. Michael Bush hit by a pitch on 3-2. Else that would have been another walk. Brings up Alex Bregman, who had a base hit his first time. Thing about Bregman, he's hit a lot of ground balls this year, more than ever in his major league career. He's hit 7 double plays. Flies this one foul.
Yeah, he tried to get that bat head out early on that fastball to try to drive something to the left side to avoid that ground ball. Got a base hit with the breaking ball off Arrighetti earlier in the ball game, but that breaking ball is up in the zone.
He's hit a lot of hard ground balls too, so if he hits one at somebody here, the Astros can think about a double play. Oh, gets hit by a pitch. And Arrighetti now with back-to-back hit batsmen to load the bases.
Looked like he tried to overthrow that fastball. Couldn't get the fingers on top of that fastball, and you can see the two-seam action running in and squares up Bregman.
Arrighetti upset with himself as he ran that fastball into Bregman. Now the Cubs have been given a bases loaded chance here thanks to Arrighetti losing the strike zone. A walk and 2 hit by pitches brings up Ian Happ. Strike 1 on the backdoor curve.
Arrighetti's going to try to use that breaking ball to get some confidence back in the strike zone and pitch backwards. And you're just trying to see something up in the zone to be able to drive.
pops it up, fouling out of play. This is where the strikeouts have become a huge part of Happ's game. Batting .148 with runners in scoring position this year. He has struck out 27 times in 54 at bats with men in scoring position. Bases loaded, no outs. Happ trying to come through. It's 0-2. Stays alive, still 0-2. Happ broke out of an 0-for-21 streak earlier when he looped a double down the left field line. Arrighetti has been close to untouchable with men in scoring position so far. He's in a jam here. Bases loaded, no outs. 0-2 on Happ. A swing and a miss. Strike 3. Happ goes down on strikes again with men in scoring position.
Yeah, that's the same breaking ball he threw to him to begin that count and went right back, especially after throwing that fastball. You see that right at the face mask. Looks enticing, but the velocity change in the spin got Happ to swing through it.
So now 1 out and the bases remain loaded for Seiya Suzuki. Happ has left more runners on base than anybody in the major leagues. A lot of Cubs on that list, including Suzuki. Talked to Craig Counsell earlier about hitting with runners in scoring position. He didn't really want to talk about it. He said that's just part of how it goes. Suzuki squibs one foul, but it's a serious problem here lately for the Cubs and for Happ and Suzuki in particular. Suzuki's only hitting .140 with runners in scoring position.
Well, that seemed to be the difference in the battle against the Brew Crew. The previous couple games, being able to show the ability to cash in and put pressure on the opposition, and right now they have a big chance.
No balls, 2 strikes. Fly ball on the shallow part of the outfield grass. Now Pena comes back to the infield. With the infield fly rule in effect, he makes the catch. So once again, Happ and Suzuki unable to come through. And the Cubs still have the bases loaded, but now 2 outs. So the 144 over the last 11 games with runners in scoring position, and today alone, the Cubs are having more issues, going 0 for 4 to this point. They've had a man on third in every inning so far, but they have no runs. Here's Conforto trying to change that. Swings and misses on the first pitch curveball.
Thus far, they have not been able to really pick up on the spin. Arrighetti has been excellent of throwing the backdoor breaking ball to the left-handed batter and really throwing the sweeper to the right-handed batter, so the shapes have been good.
And all of his outs on breaking balls today, including 4 strikeouts. Punched out Happ for the first out of this inning. Cubs had him loaded with no outs. Now with 2 away, they haven't scored yet. Michael Conforto's been their hottest hitter lately. 1 ball, 1 strike. A check swing bouncer. Pena grabs it. The throw to first is high. Conforto is out. Walker got the tag down, and the Cubs don't score here in the 3rd.
Excellent play by Walker. Pena double taps, has to get it away. Defensive baseball at its finest, and the Cubs faithful. Let them hear it.
Time for a Sage manager interview here with Craig Counsell. Bases loaded, nobody out. I know we've talked about runners in scoring position and the team struggles. You're hearing it from the fan base here. In those situations, as a manager, is there anything you can do?
Well, I mean, we got our 4 and 5 hitters up, guys who have driven in a lot of runs, and they just didn't get the job done. And then we, you know, the game is about succeeding in those situations, and we just didn't get it done here.
Jamison Tyone, 4 strikeouts. He's handled the tough lefty and Alvarez, but home runs still a problem for him. What are you seeing from him?
Yeah, I mean, he just left a 2-strike breaking ball in a bad spot, and Vasquez put a good swing on it. But you know, it's a day where it's going to be hard to hit homers. Vasquez got one out, and pounding the strike zone is going to be important.
All right, thanks, Craig.
The Astros have now had their leadoff man get a hit in every inning so far. Walker leadoff single here in the fourth. All 4 hits for Houston have been leadoff hits. Pena in the first, Myers in the second, Vasquez the home run in the third. Now strike 2 Myers, who bats for the second time. Well, the Cubs today now 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position. 6 men left on base. They've left a man on third in each inning so far. This has kind of been how it's gone for them.
And about 3 weeks ago, it seemed like they scored everyone, whether it's on first base or with runners in scoring position. And so, as a fan, it's easy to get impatient, but this is the ebb and flows of the season. Now, somebody has to emerge, especially when you have the teeth of your lineup. Somebody has to be able to cash in, but it seems like in the beginning of the season, everybody in the lineup was hot, and now everybody's cold at the same time.
Happ and Suzuki have been the biggest culprits with men in scoring position. They were the ones up with the bases loaded in the bottom of the third. Happ struck out, Suzuki popped out, and Conforto grounded out to end that scoring threat. 1 ball 2 strikes on Myers. Ball's Taillon. This is for ball 2.
You get in situations, Wayne, where you kind of feel that guys are pressing and trying too hard in those situations. So continue to believe and be able to turn it around.
Taillon with a high fastball puts Myers away. Strikeout number 5 today for Jameson Taillon.
Either the slider down in the zone or that fastball up that runs away. Anything belt to thigh, you have to stay out of that middle, but if he's able to get ahead and be able to change eye level, he's going to have success.
Taillon only had 2 strikeouts in his last start. That's 5 today. He's had only a couple of outings this year with more than 5, including 10 against his former team, the Pirates, about 6 weeks ago. Braden Shoemake stands in here with 1 out. Walker at first. Astros are 0 for 10 now with a man on base today. They have not been able to get anything going after their leadoff hits. Of course, Vasquez had the leadoff homer last inning, which is why they have the run. Craig Counsell basically said before the game today, whoever does the best with runners in scoring position tends to be the winner of the game. 1 ball 1 strike on Shoemake. Doesn't really like to make a big deal out of it because he thinks it's just part of the swings of the baseball season that, well, sometimes you get hits with men on, sometimes you don't, and that kind of tells the story of your record as you go along.
Well, you got to believe that, especially with the core guys, the numbers are going to be there in the end. So in the beginning of the season, the way they were, the on-base percentage, the walk rate, being able to cash in. And now all of a sudden, you know, guys have lulls. It's a long season. There's no sport like baseball as far as how many games they play.
Well, ball 4 to Shoemake, so that's the first free pass issued by Taillon. Brings up Cam Smith. We talked earlier about Smith hitting to some tough luck this year. There's another example of ball 106 miles an hour off his bat that landed short of the wall thanks to the wind pushing it in about 13 feet.
Yeah, he's a strong young man. Continues to work hard. You heard nothing but good things about him, and so it's all going to even out for him if he continues to barrel the baseball.
The wind still not doing the batters much favor here, blowing in all around the ballpark as Smith takes ball 1 and strongest from straightaway center field. Good day to pitch.
Trust me, I look at those flags at Willis Tower every time I had a chance to pitch here.
Here's a bouncing ball up the middle as Swanson cuts in front of Horner and has no play. Everybody's safe. A little bit of a collision at second base as Shoemake, it kind of looks like Swanson a little bit. They bumped into one another.
Yeah, because of the ground ball and the way it took Dansby, he knew he was in between. This is a high chopper. Smith can move. It was going to be a tough play either way if he gathered himself and had to make that throw to first base and couldn't get to second in time, and that's what caused a collision.
When that helmet came off, I thought Swanson put on an orange jersey for a second.
Both with the same hair flow and shades.
I'm telling you, those guys look identical.
Yeah.
So it's a fielder's choice, but no out recorded. Now the Astros have the bases loaded here. Walker at third base. Shoemaker safe at second on the play with Swanson covering too late, and Smith aboard at first.
Rave so much about the Cubs defense, but that's a rare miscue. And now after a situation where you had bases loaded, no outs, and you weren't able to score, now you have bases loaded.
It's the left-handed hitting left fielder Zach Cole, who struck out his first time. He hits a grounder up the middle. Swanson a sliding stop, flips to Horner for one, throw to first, too late. A run is in. Walker scores, RBI for Cole. And Swanson at least saved a run, keeping that ball out of the outfield, but it's 2-0 Astros.
An excellent play by Dansby, being able to get over there, second base side of the bag. Now he was convicted, being able to get that hard flip to Nico. Bang bang play at first.
On the previous play with both Swanson and Horner going for the ball, nobody was there to cover second base. This time better communication and an out recorded, but a run scores. Now ball one to Vasquez, who hit a home run last inning. Ball one strike on Vasquez. Fourth home run this season for Christian Vasquez in the third.
Yeah, it looked like the elevated slider. Kind of put his head down like it was a pop-up, and that ball just never came down. And so Vasquez turned around and said, yeah, I got to eat your Wheaties.
So Adobe standout score as Christian Vasquez flexes the muscle. Veteran catcher, good backup to have around. 35 years old. He's been around throughout his major league career.
Thrown 10 runners out so far. Third in all of baseball.
1 ball, 2 strikes to count. There goes the runner from first. And Vasquez lofts one toward the left field line. It's Happ ranging over, and that ball out of play. Don't start.
Listen, I want to make it out of here, man. It's too beautiful today. I'm not bringing up any of those old nightmares. I do nothing to talk about my mishaps against the Cubbies. I do nothing. I know exactly where I'm at. The Northsiders do not play.
You were drafted by the Cubs.
I love the Cubs. I still have my Cubs uniform. Can't fit in it, but still has it.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Vasquez. Check swing of the ball in the dirt, and he held up.
Oh, that was in the area, though. I'll just say that.
It was.
You are man, Weezy. Man.
Likewise.
Always.
2-2 the count. Runner at third, Shoemaker. Cole is at first. Astros have a run in this inning. They lead by 2. Runner going again, and Vasquez punches one to right. That's a base hit. Shoemaker scores. Cole goes to third base. They throw it in toward first as Christian Vasquez from the number 9 spot has driven in 2 today, and it's 3-0 Astros.
He talked about it, putting some of the younger players in good situations, and the veteran as well, hitting and running. Vasquez getting on top of that fastball and really shortening the swing and being able to be rewarded, playing the game the right way, especially on the road. It's very critical to be able to cash in, continue to take that crowd and the momentum out of it.
3 runs, 5 hits now for the Astros. It's their first hit beyond having a leadoff hit in every inning so far. As Jeremy Pena comes up empty, and it's 0-1. Squibbing ground ball toward Horner, who moves over at second base, and Pena's out to end the inning. The Astros get a couple. Now they have a 3-0 lead.
Stage manager interview here with Joe Espada. Spencer Arrighetti, back-to-back hit by pitches, bases loaded, nobody out, but he was able to get out of it. What are you seeing from him?
Absolutely, he stayed calm, collected, make the pitches when he needed to, got out of that big jam.
Cam Smith, his first at bat, stung the ball 106 miles an hour for an out. What do you say to a player who's just not getting the results?
Just tap him in the butt and say, go get him next time up. You know, Paredes, same first inning, same thing. You know, that's the elements of Wrigley Field. You know, you hit the ball in the nose, you never know what's going to happen. But I like the quality of bats. Came in there and got the infield single just to keep the inning alive.
All right, thanks, Joe.
Yeah, you got it.
Joe Espada is ever the optimist as the manager of the Astros. They're 11 games under 500. They've had injuries up and down their roster, and he believes that they will be in it until the end in the American League West. And it's a division that is forgiving, certainly right now. The A's are in first place, the only team above 500, and they're just a couple games over.
Well, I think he's the perfect personality and really manager for this club. All the injuries that they sustained, all the key guys, and then all of a sudden you have Espada talking positively about certain situations and certain guys getting in situations where they can be successful, but you really have to pat them on the back. So I love that interview right there and saying, hey, go get them, go play good baseball and be yourself out there. And this is an opportunity to show the organization that you can be impactful. And if you're able to chip away and fight back while reinforcements are coming back, man, that goes a long way in the front office.
6.5 back, even though they're 11 games under 500. Strike one to Carson Kelly. Arrighetti falling behind, though. It's 3-1. Arrighetti has 2 walks and 2 hit batsmen in the first 3 innings, but he's been able to pitch in and out of trouble. Cubs had the bases loaded last inning but did not score. They've left 6 men on base and 3 on third so far today. Here's Kelly driving into center field. Off the end of the bat, it's shallow. Myers comes in and makes the catch. 1 out here in the 4th. Pitching decisions presented by Sage for Arrighetti.
Being able to have that breaking ball in the back pocket. You saw the curveball back door. Being able to throw that curveball down in the zone. And that half swing by Conforto, he was in trouble. And that nice little quiet fist pump. And that's just a heart rate thing. Not speeding the game up, even though you hit a batter, to load the bases and continue to work hard and execute the pitches that you need to.
Executing those breaking pitches certainly as PCA shows bunt and takes ball 1. I mentioned the Cubs' 15-game home winning streak. Second longest one they've ever had here at Wrigley Field, which has been their home since 1916. They had a little longer streak back in 1935, and that was it. Here's a pop-up on the infield. As Paredes calls for it, calls off the catcher, and makes the catch. 2 quick outs.
I think Vasquez said he didn't have enough time to turn around and really face that fly ball, and didn't know Paredes was right on top of him.
That home win streak ended for the Cubs earlier this week, and since then they have been outscored 15-0 in the first 4 innings of games over the last now 4-game stretch.
This ball club and really this stadium, it just thrives on them being able to take a lead early and really getting that energy going and overwhelming the opposition.
2 outs here is Dansby Swanson. He bunts and bunts foul.
Vasquez trying to get out to the cut of the grass but didn't have enough time because the fly ball wasn't high enough, and he said, where did you come from? He said, that's my ball. I'm supposed to turn around and get that. I want to play too.
A little easier for the infielder coming in and the catcher going out, especially on this windy day. Wind kind of picking up right now. Swanson loops one towards shallow right field. This might be a tough play. In comes Smith, but he's got that. And that ends the inning. First 1-2-3 inning from either pitcher. Season long, get personalized highlights and push notifications just for you. Download the MLB app, the #1 app for live baseball. Cubs made it to the National League Division Series last year and were knocked out by their division rival, Craig Counsell's former team, the Milwaukee Brewers. They brought that W flag out onto the field, or was it the L flag? One of the flags made its way out when the Brewers knocked the Cubs out of the postseason.
Disrespectful.
It was, and they didn't last long after that anyway.
Well spoken from a north sider.
That's a line to right, a base hit for Paredes. The Brewers got swept by the Dodgers, and Shohei had one of the most memorable postseason games of all time, pitching 6 innings and hitting 3 home runs.
It's like, you know, me and you both have seen it. The best player on a high school field that comes from the outfield and shuts you down for 3 innings, already to hit 2 home runs. That's the type of ball game you had. And How many feet were those home runs, too? Jesus.
And the Dodgers able to win back-to-back World Series, trying to three-peat. Would be the first National League team to ever do so. Cubs were a repeat champion at one point, 1906 and rather 1907 and 1908. 1906 they lost the World Series to the White Sox. They won in 1907 and 1908 and then took a whole real long time to get back to being world champions. Finally doing it 10 years ago. Yordan Alvarez at the plate here. The Astros won the very next season in 2017. They beat the Dodgers. Kyle Schwarber, part of that 2016 championship Cubs ball club.
I was in Scottsdale, Arizona when the Cubs won 16, and it felt like we were in Chicago. I mean, you just heard the roar and the excitement. It's one of those things, man. You know exactly where you were if you're just a baseball fan when the Cubs finally broke the curse.
Hard to believe it's been 10 years since they did that. 2-1 on Alvarez. Huge cut, and it's 2-2.
Well, it's hard to believe because y'all still celebrating it. That's why. And I'm not mad at you. Y'all still celebrating it. I'm still seeing gold Cubs jerseys running around here, and rightfully so. It's hard to win in sports, and so for them to be able to do that and achieve that, very cool.
Chris Bryant was the MVP that year. That guy had the Bulls hat on too. They're still celebrating the 90s.
Listen. Chicago sports at its finest.
2-2 on Alvarez, 0 for 2 today. As he pops one up, this will get out of play toward the left. Interesting with Paredes at first, no threat to run. I guess Michael Busch not even really holding him on, playing behind him.
Especially with Yordan Alvarez, the way that he hits the ball hard, you're going to give yourself a couple steps just in case that ball's on the ground.
Probably a good idea for Busch. Near the bag, but behind the base and behind the runner. It's ball 3 to Alvarez, third in the majors in OPS dating back to 2022. Only Aaron Judge and Shohei are ahead of Alvarez in that category. When healthy, one of the biggest mashers in the sport. 3-2. Another good cut and a foul for Alvarez.
Yeah, this one it kind of gets difficult for Taillon. He has to either throw a perfect changeup or show the ability to throw that breaking ball down below the swing path, but he has not thrown anything inner half so far to Yordan.
Paredes at first. He led off the inning with a single. Astros have had a leadoff hit in every inning. Now Alvarez working on a long at bat here. .575 career slugging for Alvarez among active players. Again, only Judge and Shohei better. Mike Trout right there behind Alvarez. And a bunch of guys who might be in Cooperstown before it's over. Really, Alvarez the only question mark on that list right now. This will be at least a 10-pitch at bat here as Alvarez battles with Taillon, who's close to 90 pitches. With that in mind, the Cubs have their bullpen up. Lefty Hopi Milner is throwing. Alvarez loops one to right center and has a base hit. He wins the long battle. Follows up Paredes' single with one of his own. And the Astros are threatening yet again. First and second, nobody out. Christian Walker will bat after we check in with Heidi.
Well, tonight's odds courtesy of BetMGM. We're looking at the AL MVP odds. You guys were just talking about Yordan Alvarez power. Aaron Judge has the shortest odds to win his 4th MVP award, but Alvarez is in the mix with the great start he had to the season. He ranks 2nd in OPS this season. Joe Espada said the most impressive thing is his consistency. He doesn't chase out of the strike zone, and he's just got a slow heartbeat, guys.
He has been incredible. 28 years old. Here's a fly ball to left toward the corner off the bat of Walker. Wind pushing it toward foul territory. Now back to fair ground as Ian Happ makes the catch. So Walker flies out. That's a big first out for Taillon here in the 5th.
Yeah, a little bit of 180, and I love how Happ just knows this outfield like the back of his hand. He was reaching out to see how close he was to the brick. You see that foul line runs right into that, and so giving himself enough time and enough room to make that play.
Brings up Jake Myers, who had a base hit in the second inning, struck out his last time. And for all the talk, nice catch by a fan who was ready to swallow that one up. No glove either.
Full extension.
The ball's in a strike on Myers. Here's a check swing grounder toward Bregman at third. He charges, gets the out at second base. Throw to third with the runner Paredes held up just for a moment, but he's there safely. 2 outs here in the fifth.
Even your fans can go out there and show some glow love right over that railing. And even better, he gives it to a young fan. Players can D up, fans can D up. Y'all don't mess around in the north side, huh, Weezy?
Cubs have a bunch of Gold Glovers on the field, and nice grab there in the seats as well. Well, with 2 outs here in the fifth, Jamison Tyone will head for the exits. We'll see Hobie Milner in just a moment.
$19.99. Applebee's all you can eat.
During the day on Apple TV, presented by Verilux Lenses, or at the friendly confines of Wrigley Field. With Dontrell Willis and Heidi Watney, I'm Wade Randazzo. There's the Goodyear Drome peeking over the rooftops here at Wrigley across the street. As the Cubs go to their bullpen, Hobie Milner will face a pinch hitter as Bryce Matthews bats for Braden Shoemaker. The first pitch from Milner is ball 1. Jamison Tyone allowed 3 runs on 8 hits in 4 2/3 innings. Still a couple of men his responsibility on the bases. Milner has done a nice job so far for the Cubs this year.
He's done a good job of holding opponents scoreless 8 of the last times he's been out. See that arm angle very tough, especially with that slurve to pick up on.
Matthews getting his first extended playing time at the major league level this year. So he looks at a strike from Milner. Matthews, a Houston native who was a first-round pick of the Astros a few years ago, played for the Astros Urban Youth Academy when he was growing up. So it has to be pretty cool to wear that uniform for him. And he has a pinch hit RBI to give the Astros a 4-0 lead. Matthews drives in Paredes. It's a 2-out hit. And the Astros getting the hits with men in scoring position that the Cubs are not.
Situational hitting and not trying to pull the ball. He saw the fastball and the arm angle. It's the baseball right back where it came from. And you see the athleticism. And again, I talked about it earlier. The young cast getting opportunities to be impactful. And there's no pressure on them other than this to get the job done on a daily basis and just try to win ball games. And you're seeing that right now.
And run charge to Tyone. Here's Cam Smith as he looks at a strike. We talked about the Cubs not hitting much lately, but their starting pitchers haven't been very good either. 0-8 with a 6.88 ERA over the last 11 games. And Tyone allowing 4 runs in 4 2/3 today. It's one thing Craig Counsell said earlier, that it hasn't just been the guys not hitting with men in scoring position. Starting pitchers have not performed up to their norms lately for the Cubs either.
Now we're not going deep in ball games. Now you have to deploy 4 to 5 guys out of the bullpen. Every guy has to be right. If it seems like the wrong guy or the wrong matchup, the game gets blown up. You saw that in the Brewers series. That's why starting pitching and consistency is so valuable, because it takes a lot of pressure off that bullpen. It really saves injury down there.
There's Milner picking one out of the dirt off the bat of Smith to end the inning. Another run for the Astros, a 2-out run. They have a 4-0 lead halfway through.
Mic. Yeah, I got a mic right here. Yeah. No, I'd get in a lot of trouble if it was a phone.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
Yeah. Swans tonight. Samsonite.
Off. I love that. Number reference. Love that.
Nico Horner leads off the bottom of the fifth. Jake Myers in center field for the Astros, who have scored 4 runs in the last 3 innings. Myers has a base hit today. Nico Horner walked to lead off the 3rd. Cubs loaded the bases with no outs, and then couldn't get anybody home. It's been a theme for the Cubs lately. Ian Happ struck out. Suzuki popped down, and Conforto grounded out.
Nico was the one that really got it going. Got on base with a 4-pitch walk and continues to set the table, and that's all you can do. And eventually someone's going to be able to cash in and break out.
Ball and strike on Horner, who lifts a fly ball to center field. That's Myers backing up just a bit to handle that. And that's the first out here in the 5th inning. Astros have 9 hits. Cubs have only 2. With the wind mostly blowing in here today. Beautiful shots from our Goodyear drone cam. The city skyline in the background. Lake Michigan back there as well. You know, summer's about to kick off, even though it doesn't quite feel like it. Only 60 degrees today. This is the best summer city in America, and it's about to take off here with Memorial Day weekend. Kicking off the next few months of warm weather, hot weather, anything but snow.
Anything but snow. I've been here on both climates, and I'll take the heat any day over that snow. Y'all cold weather is disrespectful.
Michael Busch with a count 1 ball, no strikes. You've seen this tarps off thing taken around baseball. They started that here 60 years ago. Tarps off. They've been doing that for decades in the bleachers at Wrigley Field.
You better keep that snake, you know, that beer snake. I don't want to take off my shirt in this weather.
2 balls and no strikes on Michael Busch.
Getty's been.
There's the Cub snake.
Oh, they're already working on it.
Putting it together right now.
That's a lot of $30 beers.
There you go. Here's 10 more.
Love it. That's the experience here. It's fun. No matter what the score is, they have a good time.
Wave and a miss by Busch, and it's 2-2. That curveball for Arrighetti has been as advertised today.
Them being able to show the ability to shape it, whether it's a sweeper or what true conventional breaking ball, the speed change is elite, and the Cubs hitters as of yet have not been able to pick up on the spin.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Busch. Fastball upstairs. Really feel like that's just to show it before the breaking ball on 3-2.
Well, you know it's coming. This feels like that's been the game plan.
6 straight starts with 2 earned runs allowed or fewer entering today. Moving up the Astros ranks on that list. 3-2 on Busch. Another fastball. Busch was late on it.
Busch was trying to slow down and anticipate that breaking ball speed, and fouled it off just enough to live for another battle.
The updated National League standings right there. We don't even need the graphic. We'll just show you.
Classic. When I played here as a rookie, that's when I knew I was in the show. There's certain ballparks. This field this is big league.
Another foul from Busch. Astros starters have worn it. The bullpen's been even worse. But Spencer Arrighetti has at least steadied things every 5th day. He walks Busch as the 3-2 breaking ball misses for ball 4. He's allowed some free passes today, but the Cubs just haven't done much with it.
So many injuries, you know, Christian Javier, Hunter Brown, we talked about early in the ball game. That's tough for any ball club to lose that many key frontline guys, and then the back end of the bullpen losing Hader and company.
Hader hasn't pitched yet this year. Brown did make some starts early in the season. But both are due back soon. I don't think too Brian Abreu has had a lot of struggles this year. Been a little better lately. He was supposed to anchor the bullpen when Hader was out, and he hasn't.
The velocity's been down a little bit. He's still trying to work on having feel and throwing strikes with that fastball as well.
2 balls, no strikes on Bregman. Arrighetti has walked 3. He's hit 2 batters. He's only allowed 2 hits, both in the 1st inning. See how much better he's been than the rest of the Astros pitchers this year.
Situation for Alex to be able to zone him up and hopefully gets right with that fastball.
3 balls, no strikes now on Bregman. And you have Ian Happ on deck, then Suzuki. Bregman's been on base twice already this afternoon. And he's on for a 3rd time as he draws the 2nd straight walk. It'll be Ian Happ with a couple more base runners aboard as we send it down to Heidi.
Now, you mentioned the Astros have 14 players on the IL, including Jose Altuve with that grade 2 strained left oblique. He's still not doing any baseball activity until the pain goes away, so no timetable there. But Joe Espada said another huge loss for the team is Carlos Correa. He's out for the season after ankle surgery, but it's not just his presence on the field and in the lineup. He's a huge leader on this team. He still FaceTimes in for the meetings. Once he's mobile again, he'll be back at the ballpark, but his influence on these younger players cannot be understated, Wayne.
A serious ankle injury for Correa, and the Astros will be glad to have him around in any capacity, but they'll miss him on the field as Stephen Okert is getting loose in the Houston bullpen, as Arrighetti has again struggled with his command today. That puts him on the ropes here in the 5th inning, but also pushes that pitch count up, which means the Astros bullpen is going to have to do some legwork today as well.
And we talked about they struggled. If you're the Cubs faithful, you want to get Arrighetti out this ball game as quickly as possible.
Ian Happ struck out with the bases loaded last time. Take strike 1 here from Arrighetti. Only 3 hitters across baseball have struck out more than Happ's 72 punchouts so far this season. O'Neill Cruz, Zach Neto, and James Wood. It's already 0-2 on Happ. Neto and Wood have struck out 73 times. Happ 72. Cruz is well ahead of the others. He has punched out a major league high 78 times this year.
Craig Counsell talked about the consistency of Ian Happ, and all of a sudden now you see the power go up, but you didn't think the strikeouts were going to go up with it.
They've gone way up. No balls, 2 strikes on Happ. And another strikeout as Happ goes down swinging with men on base for the 2nd time today.
Very frustrating as a hitter because you knew that breaking ball was coming after the 2nd fastball that you missed. Backs against the wall, and Spencer just goes to that nasty breaking ball once again.
2 outs. Well, Craig Counsell keeps riding Happ and Suzuki into the middle of the order, where these RBI situations are going to continuously come up. And they have not been delivering. It's fair to ask when a lineup change might occur. And again, you go back to Counsell's belief. You see Suzuki's hitting 265, and he believes a lot of it is just happenstance, that some of these outs they're making just happen to be with men on base. 2 balls, no strikes on Suzuki.
I do think there's an element of press, though, at this point, though, especially when you're going up against the upper echelon of the National League and you're still putting yourself in the situations to be able to score. And now everybody's talking about it around the city. Everyone's talking about it, asking your managers, your coaches about it.
That ball hit toward the gap in right center field, but Cam Smith is over, and he's got it. The Cubs leave more men on base. They have left 8 men on in the first 5 innings.
To the ring, set the prayer right new to this thing. Holy garments, watch me do it the mink. Give me the crown, give me the crown, give me the crown, give me the crown.
4-0 Houston, and the Cubs go back into their bullpen with right-hander Ethan Roberts on the mound here in the 6th inning.
Loves that cutter and throws it 92% of the time.
Strike 1 to Zach Cole. Well, for the moment here, we're going to just take in the Wrigley experience with field levels. ABS challenge for the Astros, powered by T-Mobile. And batter was incorrect. 3 balls and a strike on Cole. As the Astros challenge a ball. So that worked out. 2 balls, 1 strike on Christian Vasquez.
Has 2 remain.
Vasquez with a home run in the 3rd inning and an RBI single. His last time productive day in the number 9 spot in the order, facing Ethan Roberts, top of the order following Vasquez. 2 balls, 1 strike. Favorite part of field. I want to have another challenge. Carson Kelly wants to challenge.
A little catcher-on-catcher crime we're seeing. I know the strike zone too.
Cubs challenge sponsored by T-Mobile. That's a strike. So Kelly's right.
Yeah, I like that little banter behind the plate.
Well played umpire Chad Fairchild just getting tossed around here by the 2 catchers. As the Cubs and Astros both have both challenges still remaining. Told you earlier, Kelly has been the best in baseball at it. He has a success rate of 22 out of 26 this year, challenging balls and strikes with ABS, and that's remarkable. Just added 1 more to that. 2-2 the count on Vasquez, and it's in the dirt for ball 3.
That's going to turn into a real weapon. So you got that? I said, yeah.
Anything you can do, I can do better.
I respect it.
Kelly, that's really an unreal total.
Elite. That's going to turn into a real weapon for catchers, and they're going to be judged on that, obviously, because being able to shift the count or get out of an inning is so important. We're already seeing how teams use the ABS system, when they're going to deploy it, who deploys it. Critical situations.
Full count on Christian Vasquez. And a foul tip for strike 3, and Kelly hung on. 2 outs.
Roberts with the fastballs, cutter combo. Mid-90s with a lot of life at the top of the zone.
I'll bring up Pena to base hit to start the game. This is the 1st inning in which the Astros did not get their leadoff man on base. They had 5 straight innings with a leadoff hit to begin this ball game. Cashed in a few of them, including Vasquez knocking himself in with the leadoff homer in the 3rd. Walker scored after a leadoff hit in the 4th, and Paredes did the same in the 5th inning. To strike to Pena, and it's 0-2.
Is challenging.
Another challenge. This will be Pena's challenge for the Astros, powered by T-Mobile. But he's wrong. Leave it to the catchers.
Disrespect the strike zone. in fairness to both sides, these are really close challenges, and so kind of feel like 50-50 ball.
That just barely clipped the bottom of the zone. No balls, 2 strikes on Pena, just returned from his injury. Four challenges in this half inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count on the former World Series MVP. He was 10th in MVP voting last year. What a great year he had. With 300, batted .304, which was 5th in the American League, at 30 doubles, 17 home runs. The count is full. He missed 5 weeks already this season thanks to that hamstring injury that he just returned from. It's been impossible for hardly any of these Astros to stay healthy. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Pena. He swats it to the first base side. It is Michael Busch flipping it to Ethan Roberts, who works a 1-2-3, top of the 6th. Up June 5th through the 7th, encouraging youth everywhere to get out and play. Visit playball.org to register for a free event near you today. Kyle Tucker, who was traded from the Astros to the Cubs going into the 2025 season. Alex Bregman, now a Cub after many great years in Houston. Moises Alou on that list. Man, he was an incredible hitter.
That's my guy. Can defend, play the game the right way, and he was a tough out. I think he hit 500 off me, so a lot like Ramirez on third base. I get nightmares when I think about those guys at the plate.
This is Miguel Amaya pinch hitting for Michael Conforto. They're taking a strike from Stephen Okert, the new pitcher for the Astros. Well, at the very least, the Cubs got Arrighetti out of the game as quick as they could. Only 5 innings thanks to some command issues. 4 walks, 2 hit batsmen. Arrighetti didn't give up any runs. It only allowed 2 hits. Here's a blooper, and fighting the wind, Matthews went almost in a 360 to try to catch that ball. His dive came up short, and Amaya has a blue pit.
I haven't seen many baseballs that were put in play that moved like that. You see where Matthews is, and all of a sudden he has to turn his shoulder like in the football days, but that's a tough ask from any second baseman to range out that far in the outfield with that much movement off contact.
Well, that wind still howling at different points here today. Here is Carson Kelly with a mile as he looks at a strike. Well, overall, the Astros bullpen has been the worst in baseball this year. They have been better lately. A 3.48 ERA over the last couple of weeks. And a 5.72 ERA overall this season. That is 30th out of 30. As Kelly pops it up, Smith calls off Matthews and makes that play. 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th.
This is the ball game if you're the Cubs. Finally getting Arrighetti out of that ball game. They've had some really tough at bats with runners in scoring position, and now you have to get to the bullpen, who has struggled mightily. But like you said, they're starting to play better baseball. If they get healthier in that bullpen and really in that rotation, they still have a shot in the AL West.
That's what they think, as the A's lead the division right now. Seattle and the Rangers both under 500 as well. Angels are really going through it. They've lost 24 of their last 30. Here's Pete Crow Armstrong. Cubs with the leadoff hit in this inning from Amaya, the first Cubs hit since the first inning. As PCA faces the lefty Okert. And he drills one out toward right. That one is going a long way. It is gone. Pete Crow Armstrong brings the Cubs fans to their feet. A lefty homer to make it a 4-2 game.
It's gotta feel good for the young man finally squaring up a baseball. Lefty on lefty, got that slider backing up, and did not miss it. We got a whole new ball game. Got that foot down, Wayne. Just stay fair, and it did.
That will take Okert out of the game. Just the 6th home run for Crow Armstrong this year. It's his 2nd off a lefty. Over 400 feet out to right, and the Cubs are back in it. It's 4-2.
At Ace, we know whether you grill with charcoal, gas, pellet, or griddle, we've got the perfect grill for you. Because only your local Ace has all the best brands in one place, like Weber, Big Green Egg, Traeger, and Blackstone. With free assembly and delivery of your new grill, along with all the sauces.
Got the ball off the bat and the fan reaction all in one swoop with the iPhone.
Very cool.
See, Pete Crow Armstrong has torched left-handers, batting .366 over the last handful of weeks. A couple of homers now, including the one off of Okert in this inning. It's a 4-2 game as Daniel De Los Santos is the new pitcher for the Astros, and Dansby Swanson fouls one off. 1-1 strike. I told you the Astro bullpen, it has been a grind for Joe Espada, the highest bullpen ERA in baseball, and immediately upon Arrighetti's exit, the Astros give up a couple of runs. It's bounced foul by Swanson. It's 1-2.
For Espada, that's the thing. On a daily basis, can you pick the right guys for the right matchup? And bottom line is, can they get it done in key situations? And they've struggled, but if you're able to get wins on a hostile environment like Wrigley, be a shot in the arm in that bullpen.
First of a 3-game series this weekend between these two teams. Swanson chases for strike 3. Swanson's been striking out a lot as well. And De Los Santos gets the second out of the inning.
Excellent pitch down and away. He sped up his bat. De Los Santos being able to have that tight slider down and away. There's nothing you can do with that pitch.
Now 2 outs and the base is empty for Nico Horner, who walked and stole a base earlier. Takes up and in from De Los Santos. And we talked about Josh Hader has not thrown a pitch yet this year. The Astros have had a few different pitchers get saves, including De Los Santos, but Brian Abreu struggling. They really don't have a set closer right now. There's Brian King, a left-hander. Abreu and De Los Santos the most in ninth inning situations, but Joe Espada's just trying to piece it together, and they still have a lot of outs left to get today.
It's bullpen by committee, so he's watching the matchups, where they are in the lineup. There's going to be a lot of conversations with the bullpen coach on that phone.
1-1 strike on Horner.
Short arm action to De Los Santos. That's a tough pitch for the hitters to pick up on. He has the velocity anywhere from 94 to 97 miles an hour, but that short slider, tough to cover.
Horner flips one towards shallow right center. Matthews goes out for this, and he has it to end the inning. Cubs get on the board with Pete Crow Armstrong's 2-run homer off the lefty Okert. PCA drills one and cut the Astro lead in half. It's 4-2 Houston after 6.
The wind was blowing out at the right time. As soon as he was up, the wind started howling behind me.
Well, that's just good old-fashioned Wrigley magic at work.
Yes. You know, I talked about that Chicago win for the faithful. Very important.
Pete Crow Armstrong is able to lay into one for his 6th home run this year, and the Cubs get back in the game. Here's a liner towards short. Swanson with a good pick and a strong throw across to retire Paredes. This is a Gold Glove caliber defense all the way through, and Dansby Swanson chief among them at short.
Made that look easy. Knew he had enough time. Had the range to his right. Nice little back pick. Like I said in the beginning of this game, gold sprinkled everywhere around this infield and outfield.
Gold Glovers at many positions, including Swanson at shortstop, Horner at second base. There's Yordan Alvarez with 1 out in the 7th. They gave us this Ryan Sandberg bobblehead that they're giving away this weekend, and he's standing on a pile of Gold Gloves in the bobblehead.
Rightfully so. One of the best to ever do it. Love talking baseball with that legend.
Late great Hall of Famer Ryne Sandberg. He is certainly missed around here after passing away last season. And he's 23, will sit forever atop the right field foul pole here at Wrigley. Some incredible names that have had their numbers retired in this organization, now 150 years old, as Alvarez looks at a strike.
All of those players, they knew what this organization and really this conference meant to the city. The passion, the joy, and really the responsibility, and that's why they will forever be such in really baseball history, but Cubs history as well.
He grew up in the 80s and into the 90s. Ryne Sandberg was the guy. Went to the All-Star game every year, won the Gold Glove every year. Talk about a model of consistency. 3-2 on Alvarez.
I mean, all the things that we appreciate in the game today, he did it back in his era. 10 All-Star games, 9 Gold Gloves. He could run, he could hit for power. You want to talk about a flair for the dramatics. Every time Mr. Sandberg came up to the plate, the crowd would get up on their feet. He wouldn't disappoint them.
Ball 4 to Yordan Alvarez. It's a 1-out walk issued by Roberts. Ryne Sandberg issued a statue a couple of years ago commemorating the 40th anniversary of the Sandberg game when he had his big national TV breakout against the Cardinals in his MVP year of 1984. Sandberg jerseys aplenty even to this day here at Wrigley. Here's Christian Walker with Alvarez at first, and a strike in there from Ethan Roberts. Cubs bullpen is a little healthier now than when we saw them a few weeks ago in Los Angeles. Roberts has had his share of injuries over the years. A middle finger laceration that took him out for a few weeks this season. 1 ball, 1 strike on Walker.
I like what I see from his stuff. A little challenge with the fastball. It shows the ability to throw that hard cutter and really shape it slower to make it look like a true sweeper.
Walker a single and a run scored today. He's done a nice job this year. Swings and misses here. 11 home runs for Walker already. He's driven in 31. He's tied with Yordan Alvarez for the team lead in RBIs. He's a good player, underrated. Another guy who's won a Gold Glove.
He's very important, and I thought he was a great ad because of the power to the pull side in that Crawford box down in Houston. Didn't get off to the start that he wanted to, but really started to get comfortable. But they really need to fill that void at first base. They really tried to platoon a couple guys, and so being able to get him from the Diamondbacks uniform and what he meant Arizona as far as lineup protector, I like him, especially behind Yordan.
Gave him a 3-year deal when he came aboard last year. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swing and miss, strike 3. Roberts punches out Walker with a breaking ball that stayed up, but Walker swung through it anyway.
Yeah, the good old backup slider. We don't really have a sign for that per se when you throw it. Backed up just enough to really keep Walker off the barrel.
What do you call it? Lucking out, I guess.
Maybe a slider and a cross. Pray to the Lord that it backs up enough.
2 outs, and here is Jake Myers, who has a base hit today. Bounced it to third. Bregman backs up, has to fire it across, and a good pick by Bush for the out at first. Bregman had to back up with a fast runner going down the line, got rid of it quickly. Michael Bush handling it on the other end to keep Myers off base and end the inning. Stretch time at Wrigley. It's 4-2 Astros. Watching Friday Night Baseball in the afternoon on Apple TV, presented by Verilux Lenses with Dontrell Willis and Heidi Watney at Wrigley. I'm Wayne Randazzo. The Astros and the Cubs this afternoon. Houston out to a 4-0 lead through the middle innings. Cubs got 2 back in the bottom of the 6th on a home run by Pete Crow Armstrong. Michael Bush takes ball 1, leading off the bottom of the 7th. After the 7th inning stretch was sung today by 4-time National League batting champion Bill Madlock. Bush with a fly ball left center. It's Myers all over it as he backs up to make the catch. One away here in the 7th. Formula One heads north to Montreal for the Canadian Grand Prix at the iconic, I don't know how to say that, the championship battle intensifies on Notre Dame Island as the grid tackles heavy braking zones and the unforgiving Wall of Champions. Watch it live on Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern on Apple TV, the new U.S. home of Formula One. It's Circuit Gilles Villeneuve.
Don't worry about it, Wayne. We'll be in Vegas for that one. Don't worry about that. Don't overheat. Don't overheat.
I overheated.
1-0 is the count right now.
Bregman fouls it off. Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Yeah,
hey, that old boy. It's St. Charles High School.
Just couldn't. I didn't practice early.
It's all right. We'll have our new phones at that F1 race. Las Vegas, Nevada, baby.
Ball, 1 strike, and it's 2-1. Brian King, the left-hander, up in the Astro bullpen. Looks like they're setting it up for Brian Abreu to potentially close this one if King is up before Abreu. We'll see how it turns out for the Astros bullpen today, trying to get 12 outs behind Spencer Arrighetti going 5 innings. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Bregman.
You're the Cubs faithful. Now you're afraid of losing 4 straight in the friendly confines after looked like for a couple weeks you weren't going to lose a game at Wrigley.
It'll be 6 in a row overall. It would be the Cubs' longest losing streak in 4 years if they don't come back today. 2 balls, 2 strikes. It's outside, ball 3 to Bregman with Happ on deck.
To the Cubs offense, you're thinking, let's make the game too long for this bullpen.
Full count. Ground ball to third, handled by Isaac Paredes. And Bregman is the second out here in the 7th. Ian Happ will stand in as we send it down to Heidi.
Ian Happ will be watching that race too. He's a big Formula One racing fan. He watched Drive to Survive about F1 racing and saw that they use vision training to help their reaction time. But Happ actually started vision exercises in college at Cincinnati. He picked it back up after seeing the F1 racers using it. He has vision stickers inside his helmet. You'll see him staring into his helmet before he hits. If nothing else, Happ says, I think in baseball, it's anything that gives you confidence, Wayne.
Well, how about some confidence saying Gilles Villeneuve? We forgot to say.
Not but I like that.
Balls at a strike on Ian Happ. Doubled earlier, but struck out twice with men in scoring position today. And he's behind in the count here. No balls and 2 strikes.
They continue to attack him with that off-speed pitch. Outer thirds, and he's had a ton of trouble trying to barrel that ball and really elongate that swing and try to hit it with authority the other way.
Happ pops it up. This one on the infield for the third baseman Paredes, and De Los Santos has retired all 5 batters that he has faced. 1, 2, 3 in the 7th. Essilor. Learn more about Verilux XR series and find your local Essilor expert today at Essilor.com. And in part by Amazon, save the everyday. Top of the 8th at Wrigley Field. Well, math I can do. French maybe not, but math I can handle that.
That's funny. Oh, the Cubs fans are one of a kind. One of a kind.
37,000 of them here at Wrigley today as Bryce Matthews looks at a strike. They're shown on the video board. Today is the 24th anniversary of Mark Pryor's major league debut here at Wrigley Field back in 2002.
Another bad man I unfortunately had the chance to face, and it was not fun. Straight fastball, another guy that had nasty slider. The mechanics clean as a whistle, and a quiet but tough competitor. Love talking pitching with him even to this day.
He had 10 strikeouts in his big league debut when he beat the Pirates that night here at Wrigley. There's strike 3 called to Matthews. And Jacob Webb, the new Cubs pitcher, fans the first batter that he faces. 1 out.
I was in A-ball with Carl Zambrano and Mark Pryor were in AA, and that offseason I got a job at UPS because I didn't have anything. True story. I was working at the hub, and because I didn't do anything those individuals did, but love watching those guys pitch and honored to be able to share the field against them.
Well, you won 20 games in a big league season. I don't think either of those guys ever did that.
A lot of help. I bought a lot of dinners. A lot of dinners helped with that, and I will say my teammates really had a great deal of love and appreciation for me for whatever reason. But those guys, as far as pure talent and stuff, and what they've done in this ballpark for this organization, it's unmatched.
Pryor won 18 in 2003, and Zambrano won 18 in 2007, but never got to 20.
Houston has 0 remaining.
The Astros are out of challenges now. That was all over the strike zone to Cam Smith.
Yeah, that's why you have to have meetings about who can challenge and who can't. Certain situations.
1 ball, 1 strike. We talked about the Astros bullpen by committee. They had Brian King up before, making it seem that Abreu might close today, but now Abreu is warming up, which makes it seem like King will close. However, they can match it up.
Situational. Everybody, all hands on deck. Keeps the bullpen arms on their toes and having continuous conversations of who you have, who's your matchup, who wants you to attack. And sometimes it's tough because sometimes have to get up and then situations change, scores change, and you have to get back down.
Count is full now on Smith. 3-2. Had a base hit earlier. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Webb with back-to-back punch-outs to start the 8th.
Running action down and in. Excellent changeup.
Here is Zach Cole, who drove in a run with a fielder's choice earlier. Cole with a few home runs this year. Hit one off Yoshinobu Yamamoto earlier this season. Also homered in his first major league at bat last year against the Braves. He hit a home run on the first pitch of his first major league at bat.
Well, let people know what neighborhood you're from when you get to the show. I'm not mad at that. The pitcher doesn't know what kind of stuff he has if you don't allow it to get to the mitt. Square that thing up.
So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Home run on the very first major league at bat. That's something you see a lot, but it does happen. Last Cub to do it was Christopher Morel in 2022.
You know he was swinging. He's still swinging. No, he was swinging.
A lot of math shirts out here today.
Well, I'm overheating right now just looking at it.
2 balls and 2 strikes, and a chopper to first base should get Webb out of the inning as long as he beats Cole to the bag, which he does. 1-2-3 inning for Jacob Webb. It's still 4-2 Astros. Office of the Commissioner of Baseball may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent. So many guest conductors have taken me out to the ball game since Harry Carey made it legendary during his tenure as the voice of the Cubs. In this very booth here at Wrigley Field, Harry's shadow still looms large over Cubs broadcasting and this city and what he meant to this ball club and this franchise and helping turn it into what it is now. He had a lot to do with it. Seiya Suzuki leads off here in the bottom of the 8th inning. New pitcher for the Astros is Brian Abreu, who has certainly had his struggles this year. It's been odd to see Abreu not throwing nearly as hard as he has in the past. The Astros say it's coming back. That fastball 92 moved Suzuki off the plate, and then he missed the baseball when it came back to him.
Yeah, not an ideal start. But you're hoping that not only the velocity, but really the command. You see 21 strikeouts against 18 walks. And this is a high leverage guy. And really the 1-2 punch with Josh Hader being able to come back.
You want Abreu to just let it rip. There's a breaking ball that gets over for a strike. And this guy has been an elite late inning reliever for the last few seasons, and suddenly it has just kind of disappeared on him this year. 3 balls and a strike on Suzuki. Abreu had over 100 strikeouts each of the last 3 years. As Nick Allen takes over at second base behind Abreu on the mound here, with Suzuki leading off at the bottom of the 8th. Only a 2-run game. Suzuki hits a chopper right to the third baseman Paredes. Abreu struggling with his control. Suzuki swings away 3-1 and grounds out 1 away here in the 8th. It will be Moises Ballesteros to pinch hit for Amaya.
So Suzuki getting a little jumpy with that fastball. Got himself in a hitter-friendly count. Just overswung and hit the top half of the baseball, and really, so far, letting Abreu off the hook.
Abreu had a 2.28 ERA last year, 105 strikeouts, a career high in 71 innings. Pretty much from the get-go this season, just wasn't the same guy. Here's Ballesteros with a fly ball to left center field. It's Myers and Cole converging. Myers, the center fielder, takes over, and 2 quick outs for Abreu. Sunday night soccer this weekend. A pair of teams trying to battle back into playoff contention. The Columbus Crew hosting the Atlanta United. All coverage begins 4:30 Eastern, exclusively on Apple TV. Carson Kelly is the batter here with 2 out, nobody on. Abreu pumps in a strike. 93 on the fastball, but the Astros just hope he can throw some strikes at the very least and use that slider to play off his fastball. Carson Kelly hit by a pitch, which will bring the tying run to the plate, and it's Pete Crow Armstrong who hit a home run his last time.
Looked like Abreu wanted to really hump up on that fastball. That was 95 miles an hour, but got on the side of the baseball, and that's why you see that tailing action to the arm side.
Cubs have been hit 3 times today. They've been walked 4 times, but none of those men have come around to score. Pete Crow Armstrong has been hurting left-handed pitching lately, and StatCast, powered by Google Cloud, shows you this home run off the lefty Oker's last time.
Yeah, you see the exit velo at 104. That's perfect, and the max height at 105. That's a home run in every ballpark, baby.
406 feet for Pete Crow Armstrong's 6th home run this year. Now he's the tying run at the plate against Abreu, who retired the first couple of hitters fairly quick fashion, getting Suzuki to bounce out and Ballesteros to fly out. Astros do have a lefty up in their pen, King, but as we said, Crow Armstrong's been hitting lefties better than righties this year. Ball 1 from Abreu. Abreu has been better, at least recently. He has not allowed a run in his last 6 games, but his ERA still is over 7. It's 2-0 on Crow Armstrong with Dansby Swanson on deck. It's over for a strike, 2-1. Abreu started throwing that slider more than his fastball. He can command it better. He's behind now, 3 balls and 1 strike.
falling off to the first base side, and Vasquez wants him to be able to continue that motion through home plate. That's how you get on the side of the baseball, have those backup sliders.
It's 3-1 on PCA. And he takes a strike around the knees, 3-2. Another slider from Abreu.
PCA has to make a decision right here. If he sees a strike slider, does he charge at it? And if you're Abreu, do you trust your fastball, or are you going to continue with the slider?
3-2. And it's a slider for ball 4. A check swing, and Pro Armstrong draws the walk. Now remember, the Astros are out of challenges. So Christian Vasquez couldn't challenge what looked like would have been strike 3.
Might have caught the top of that zone, Wayne.
Oh, definitely did. PCA held his swing, though, and the Astros couldn't challenge it. So Joe Espada will go to his pen as Brian Abreu can't finish off the 8th inning. Swanson hit a ground ball to short. It's backhanded by Pena, and his throw high. Swanson safe. We saw Pena get under one earlier, but Christian Walker saved him. He couldn't this time.
That's why you always hustle 90 feet. Pena with that backhand, and all of a sudden getting under that throw. Even with the glove tap. And once again, Walker had to go too high and wasn't being able to catch that ball, provide a tag on Dansby.
It's ball 1 to Nico Horner with the bases loaded. Entering today, the Astros with the fewest errors committed in the American League. They've made 2. And this one opens the door for the Cubs to come back. It's Horner with a chopper. Paredes has it, throws to second in time, and the inning is over. The Cubs once again can't come through with men in scoring position. Horner grounds into a fielder's choice, and the Astros hold the lead. Swanson forced out. The Cubs 0 for 9 with runners in scoring position, and they trail 4-2 entering the 9th. Well, it has been a good day for the Goodyear drone cam featuring Wrigley Field on a sunny Friday afternoon, kicking off Memorial Day weekend. Cubs and Astros in a 3-game series here at Wrigley through Sunday. There's no better place to get the drone out than this one.
Beautiful city. Always have a good time.
Christian Vasquez has had a good time today. Hit a home run in the 3rd inning and has an RBI single as well. The Astros had a 4-0 lead at one point. Cubs cut it to 4-2, and Pete Crow Armstrong hit a home run. But the big thing for the Cubs today yet again, 0 for 9 with runners in scoring position, 11 men left on base. They've left a man on 3rd base 4 different times today. Ground ball in the hole. Swanson has to go get it. Sliding stop. Oh, throw. What a play by Dansby Swanson.
You don't got to be so mean, young man. Into the outfield, pops up and able to fire us. Howitzer to first base. Wow.
Perfect throw from shallow left field. And the right guy running, and Vasquez, 35-year-old catcher, was no match for that beauty from Dansby.
I don't care who went. I don't care. That's a highlight reel type play.
One out as Pena bats. He lifts one to right field. Right at Suzuki. 2 up, 2 down here in the 9th inning.
I mean, the jump started it all, Wayne. Being able to slide and pop up and know exactly where you are on the field. Wow.
Phil Maton like that.
Flexing. Everybody flexing today. Everybody got their pre-workout today. Not bad.
There is Isaac Paredes with 2 down as he looks at a strike. Cubs featuring so many great defenders. Dansby Swanson, the leader of defensive runs saved, the premier infield position of shortstop. Crow Armstrong leads all of baseball in that category this year. Cubs have a lot of things going for them. They just have not been able to get big hits lately. The timely hitting has been missing, and they're down a couple of runs today because of it. 2 balls and a strike on Paredes. In the bottom of the 9th, they'll have Bush, Bregman, and Happ due up. And say Suzuki if anybody gets on.
For a world championship caliber team, timely hits up and down the lineup so important. Really, this quality of bats.
2 balls and a strike. Swanson threw that ball 155 feet after a pop-up slide on the money from shallow left field.
That's why I love that they're showing some of the defensive metrics now of how hard these plays are and how us as fans have to appreciate the athleticism.
It's ball 4 to Paredes as Maton allows a base runner, and he brings up a tremendously tough hitter. His job right now is to keep this a 2-run game. It's a lot harder now. And Yordan Alvarez is stepping up. Maton entering today with an ERA of 9. He's allowed 14 runs in 14 innings. And Alvarez with a fly ball toward the left field line, foul.
Even though Alvarez has line-to-line power, you have to make sure of your Maton to stay away from him and continue to have that tailing action of that fastball.
Missed a lot of last season because of a fractured right hand. He's already played more games this year than last year, Alvarez. 2 balls and 1 strike the count. 15 home runs for Yordan Alvarez. Kind of surprisingly, his career high. He's never had one of those big 40 or 50 homer seasons in his career. Most he's hit in a single season is 37. Feels like he can do a lot more than that this year if he does play all the way through.
Even though he doesn't have that big 50 home run season, he's still revered as one of the best hitters in the game.
Maton falls behind him here at 3 balls and a strike. Mentioned this earlier, OPS since 2022. He's number 3 behind the 2 guys who've pretty much conquered the MVP award between Judge and Ohtani, winning it just about every season over the last 5 years. It's ball 4. So a couple of 2-out walks, and now the Astros looking for some insurance with Christian Walker coming up. Tommy Hotovy, the Cubs pitching coach, heads toward the mound. Walker has gone 1 for 4 today with a single and a run scored. Well, Craig Counsell told us before the game today, a team that does the best with runners in scoring position tends to win. Well, it's held up. The Astros are 3 for 8. Cubs are 0 for 9, and it's Houston with the lead here in the 9th inning.
Well, the real fear of it all is you see how competitive the NL Central has turned out over the first couple months, and so you don't want to get in a situation where all of a sudden you had this controllable lead, you had these win streaks, and now you're looking up trying to catch not 1 but 2 teams because of the lack of execution offensively.
Milwaukee has slid back into first after sweeping the Cubs earlier this week. The Cardinals are right there. Even the Pirates and Reds, the bottom of the division, are both above 500. Here's Christian Walker with runners on first and second. That's ball 1 from Maton. Cubs had a 20-3 stretch with those 2 10-game winning streaks mixed in. They've gone 2-9 since the last 10-game winning streak ended, and trying to avoid a 10th loss in 12 games and a 6th straight loss here today. 2 balls, no strikes on Walker as Maton, after retiring the first 2 hitters in this inning, has lost the strike zone.
I lost fear. Really, just the strike zone with the slider. He needs that pitch.
It's in there, and it's 2-1.
I'm really surprised Walker wasn't on that fastball, especially working that count That's exactly why you're in that lineup, to try to do damage and really blow this game up.
I mentioned his 31 RBIs, tied with Alvarez for the Astros team lead. Big chance here for Walker to extend the Houston lead, but instead he's taken 2 strikes here. What's he looking for?
That fastball had a tailing action away from him, but that's one. Middle in, 2-0 count. You got to hit that ball at least foul over the third base's dugout.
2-2, and he lays off the breaking ball. So now 3-2, the runners will go. That's good for Houston in this case because neither Paredes nor Alvarez run that well. Three balls, 2 strikes on Christian Walker. Runners going, and Walker fouls it off his foot.
That's the attitude you want from a lineup protector, especially a guy that's hitting behind Yordan Alvarez. And Christian Walker has 11 home runs and 31 RBIs. That's exactly why you're making the money you're making, to be able to strike fear in the opposing pitcher.
On the Players Weekends a bunch of years ago, when they had the nicknames on the jerseys, Phil Maton's was Spin Rate. Relies heavily on that breaking ball, and he gets Walker to pop it up. If it stays in for Bush near the Astro dugout, he overran it, and it falls foul.
He lost it once he tried to look at how much room he had at the dugout. And we've seen this ball move all over the place, especially with the wind today. He looks down, and that's when he loses it.
Cubs could have been out of the inning. Instead, Walker gets another swing here as the Astros try to add to a 4-2 lead in the top of the 9th. Another 3-2 coming to Walker, and it's swung on and missed strike 3. Maton picks up Bush, works a 0 here in the top of the 9th, and the Cubs will have a chance in the bottom of the 9th, down by 2.
Limited time only at Little Caesars.
Pizza.
Cubs today with runners in scoring position, kind of the same old song of the last couple of weeks. A lot of squandered chances. They've left 11 men on base, 8 in scoring position, had the bases loaded with no outs in the 3rd inning and didn't score. Gifted an opportunity in the 8th with 2 outs. A hit batsman, a walk. Swanson reached on an error, and Nico Horner grounded out. So the Cubs all day long have left men on and have been hitless with men in scoring position. They're hoping for one more chance here in the bottom of the 9th against Brian King, looking for a 4-out save as he falls behind Michael Bush 2-0.
Remember, the Astros have no more challenges left.
King has had a couple of 4-out saves this year. And that's ball 3. King was drafted by the Cubs. The Astros pulled him out of the Cubs organization via the Rule 5 draft a few years ago. He's largely done a nice job in Houston. There's a strike to Bush. Cubs still have their challenges, even though the Astros don't have any of theirs. That's strike 2. Bush did not use a challenge there. Wouldn't have won it anyway, but the Cubs still have a couple left. That would have been close, actually. I think it would have been a strike, though. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Bush. And a fly ball left center field. Myers moves over, so does Cole, and it's the left fielder sliding, and he still makes the catch. Zach Cole comes up with it, even though he went into a slide, seemed like on accident. But he's able to make the grab. We're on the warning track in left center field.
Critical to get that lead out. A little bit of a miscommunication looking at Myers, and he got down just in time. Excellent catch.
You're right. He just kind of hit the turf. As soon as he saw a chance there to make that play with Myers in the neighborhood, Cole got the job done. 1 out here in the bottom of the 9th. Alex Bregman at the plate now. The former Astros behind 0-2. The 2 runs for the Cubs today came on a homer. They would need to get a man on to bring the tying run to the plate here in the bottom of the 9th. Down 4-2. As Bregman hits a fly ball to center field. This one easy for Jake Myers, who is under it. 2 up, 2 down here in the bottom of the 9th. It'll be Ian Happ batting right-handed for the first time today against the lefty King. Spencer Arrighetti's in line for the win. He would be 6-1 in his first 7 starts. Did enough to get through 5 innings without giving up a run today. The Astro bullpen, with the highest ERA in baseball, has recorded 11 of the 12 outs that they've needed to secure the win for Arrighetti. Ball 1 strike on Happ.
See, that's a pitch that last year he barrels. The swing looks a tad bigger than what he wants to. And I get it. The power numbers have gone up, but gets his foot down, clears a little bit early.
Oh, no. Check swing, and he went around strike 2.
Looking right. He wanted to hunt the fastball and guess wrong and couldn't hold up.
Happ has struck out twice today. He has fanned twice per game over the last 12. He stays alive here, hoping to give Suzuki a swing. Cubs down to their final strike. 4-2 in the bottom of the 9th. Fly ball on the infield. Walker is there, and the Houston Astros come to Wrigley and hand the Cubs their 6th consecutive loss. The Astro bullpen holds up. Just 2 runs allowed over the final 4 innings. Brian King gets the last 4 outs, and the Astros beat the Cubs 4-2.
Wayne, you documented that the Astros bullpen has struggled, but this is a huge win and a huge boost. Spencer Arrighetti didn't have his best stuff, but it was enough to keep the Cubs hitters off balance, especially those nasty breaking balls that he was able to provide all day long. But hats off to this Astro bullpen, especially after the homer from PCA. You're feeling like, oh no, here we go again, they're going to implode. But they stepped up in a hostile environment and got it done.
And the Cubs did not have a hit after PCA's home run back in the 6th inning. 4 hits overall this afternoon. The Astros, well, just trying to march back into the race in the American League West. They know they're going to get a lot of their star players back in the near future, and they're just trying to hang on in the meantime as they win the opener in this 3-game series. Cubs now 6 straight losses, their longest losing streak in 4 years. As the Astros improved to 2-2 on their current road trip. And it was Christian Vasquez from the number 9 spot in the order with a big day today. A couple of RBIs, including a home run. He's standing by with Heidi Watney.
Yeah, Christian Vasquez, the home run you flexed rounding first. It took a lot of muscle to get one out of here today. How were you able to do that?
Yeah, I was jogging with Paredes, so he hit it 102, and he was out, and I hit it out at 98, so I'm stronger than him.
All right, catching Spencer Arrighetti. I mean, he's had back-to-back scoreless outings. What's working so well for him?
A lot of strike. He's throwing a lot of strike. His pitches, in the zone, and he's getting a lot of chase up and down in the zone is special for us.
He has a lot of traffic on the base paths, especially today, but he was able to get out of it. How do you help him navigate those situations?
I think we got a great defense, behind him, and a lot of like pop-ups. The wind was hard today and here, and I think we did a very good job.
Team has been inconsistent in May. What do you guys need to do to go on a run now?
We got together, fight together. I think a team, winner teams, stay together to the end, and I think we need to do that.
All right, thanks, Christian.
Thank you, guys.
Now the Houston Astros with a 4-2 win today. Christian Vasquez had a couple of big hits, that home run, and also punching an RBI single in the 4th inning. Vasquez driving in 2 from the number 9 spot in the order, and he caught a good game behind the plate too, helping the Astros pitchers, especially the bullpen, get 12 outs after Arrighetti went 5.
Can't ask for a better veteran ball game by Vasquez. Shows the power, hits behind the runners, everything they need to win a big time.